Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
That's right, another edition of FnA on FSR. It is me, Kevin Figures, and he, Adam Oslin. At KFig1 is where you can find me on X. Adam is at Follow Adam A on X.
Good to be back. Another Friday night, taking you into early Saturday morning. Maybe it's already there for you on the East Coast,
right.
But we got a good show for you. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be, okay?
Surprise, mother.
This is what we do here. And we got good guests, and we got a lot of NFL talk coming your way this week because
right.
we are creeping closer to kickoff of the 2026 NFL season.
I feel like this is around the time of year where everything is like it's a slow crawl. You get excited for the start of training camp, but then you're like, okay, when did the first preseason game starts? Then after about the first series and a half of the preseason game, you're like, all right, well, I'm done with this crap. When does the regular season start?
Yeah, especially because we're down to 3 preseason games now.
Right.
So we don't even get 4. But does that mean we get more from the starters or less from the starters in preseason?
It depends on how you look at it. Well, what's happening now, Adam, too, and it's only going to get worse or better depending on how you choose to look at it. When the NFL, not if, when the NFL goes to an 18-game regular season, we're going to end up going down to 2 preseason games. But what teams are doing now to account for the fact that they've lost a game is they're doing inter-squad scrimmages. So a lot of these inter-squad scrimmages that happen, this is when a lot of your ones face the other ones, but it's not full contact. You're not tackling to the ground. At least you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
You're not pissing off somebody like Aaron Donald who comes out of a pile and starts swinging helmets at people and stuff like that.
That'll happen. Kyle Turley, too.
Right, exactly. Well, Kyle Turley, that's all the roid rage in the world.
A little bit.
So what's going to end up happening is we're going to get rid of another preseason game, and they're just going to start televising and throwing sponsorships around these inter-squad scrimmages. That's probably what's going to end up happening here in the next 5 years whenever the 18th game gets implemented.
Who told you that? Mike Florio? Who had that? Was that NFL Talk or whatever?
Basically, Pro Football Talk, sure. Yeah. Just kind of connecting dots. Well, look, they're going to try to make money however they can.
Yeah.
They open training camp practices, and it's sponsored by somebody, and they're selling concessions, and they got cheerleaders out there. So they're treating these practices as if they're games.
Spaceballs 2, the search for more money. Is that what the new one's being called? Well,
yeah.
That's what they teased it from the original.
All of a sudden last week, and it might have even been last week during the show, I just see all these videos of Rick Moranis floating around. I'm like, what the hell is this about?
He's back.
First of all, I had no idea that thankfully he's still alive, but it's like he's been off the grid for 25 years.
Well, I guess sadly his wife died from cancer and he became a stay-at-home dad, and he felt that was more fulfillment than working in the movie industry, which was hell.
I would say so. Talk about priorities, my God.
But yeah, I haven't seen him since Little Giants outside of one episode. Yeah. No, not even an episode, a commercial with Ryan Reynolds for like some Mint mobile app thing, or I don't know.
Was it like a
leaf in there?
Was it like a Honey I Shrunk the Kids spoof kind of thing that they were doing or something?
They at least were being comedic because it's Ryan Reynolds and he's being somewhat sarcastic and snarky.
Take these guys and try to reprise like old roles from old films or something like that. So that would make the most sense. But yeah, I see Rick Moranis, and all of a sudden, 50 years later, here comes Spaceballs 2. Which Adam knows my favorite is when we have sequels that are done decades after the original.
Always works out.
Doesn't it?
Okay, maybe just one time, and that would be the new Blade Runner, and that's about it.
Okay, so I haven't seen Maverick. Obviously, I'm late to the game on a lot of films, but I mean,
I'm late to the game on that one.
Oh, so you haven't seen it?
Here's the problem.
Because a lot of people loved it.
Well, I wanted to go see it. I missed the boat because once it was out of theaters, I'm like, well, I got to go to the theater to see a movie like this. I don't have the 7.1 surround sound or the 8.1 where they got sound on your ceiling now.
Just do a rent-a-center. Is that still a thing? You just do a rent-a-center, do it for the movie, and then take it all back?
I can't afford rent-a-center, Kevin. That's where I'm at in life right now. But I'll wait for it to come back into theaters when the next Maverick comes out, which is probably not that far away.
In 2050 at that point. So then at that point, it'll just be straight up AI Tom Cruise.
It shouldn't take that long. Danger Zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Rip Iceman. R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
Yeah, we have a big show, as Adam mentioned tonight. We have Vinny B from the California Post. He is their senior NFL columnist covering all the California teams. So we'll talk a little bit of Raiders, about the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan's situation gets more and more bizarre. So we'll talk.
Ask Rob Parker.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that. We have our continuing previews of the NFL divisions. This week we will do the NFC North after doing the NFC West last week.
This is a great series. I'm surprised we're staying in the NFC. What type of NFC bias is this, Kevin? I'm surprised you didn't make me talk about the NFC South, considering the Panthers are dropping like flies in training camp right now, and our season is already over.
Well, I mean, you could have argued that before the injuries, but yeah, losing one of their key receivers who was going to compete for a spot this year, he's out for the season. It's been rough.
Yeah,
and training camp literally just started like last week.
You don't know what it's like rooting for a team that sucks, Kevin. You
No,
only root for the Raiders.
Absolutely don't. The team that Vinny B covered for the past 7 seasons, so we'll talk about the Raiders extending out of California and into Las Vegas with a quarterback situation there with Kirk Cousins being announced, at least as of now, being the starting quarterback. So we'll get into that coming up as well. We will talk about the players in the NFL that have the most pressure, the heaviest weight on their shoulders going into this season coming up in the final hour. And we'll get you guys' take on that coming up as well.
All right, let's get to first off.
Let's go. It's go time.
Let's rock. First off,
Is it true? Did Haley's Comet pass tonight? The Dodgers lost a game?
They lost to the white-hot Boston Red Sox, who, they have a 21-4 month, I think it was.
Are
Now
they
that we have
stealing
closed
signs
out
again?
the month of July.
Are they
I don't know.
cheating again? Is Alex Cora still there?
Yeah, I mean, Carlos Beltran, I was like, hey, I'm in the Hall of Fame now. It doesn't matter. You can't do anything to me. I'm already in. I'll steal whatever the hell I want.
Yeah.
Uh,
The Dodgers may be stealing a pitcher coming up.
If you want to call it that. I mean, obviously, Tarek Skubal is the prize here at the trade deadline coming up on Monday, and the Dodgers, pretty much consensus by all the insiders and executives around the league, believe the Dodgers are going to be the ones to end up landing him, mainly because they just have the most amount of resources
Yeah.
and the least to lose.
That's how it's been for some time now, and the rest of baseball is crying out to the baseball gods, asking why have you forsaken us for the Dodgers here?
Yeah.
Who the rich are getting richer?
Yeah, I mean, I will say, like, people are pointing to the Dodgers as the favorites, but not because, like, they're the evil empire that just buys championships, because this is different. It's like they're so well run and they devote so many resources to their minor league system, so they can have a lot of guys. They have, I think, 9 outfielders who are in their top, like, 50 prospects or something like that.
Seems good.
They have such a glut of top outfield prospects that they were talking about trading some of these guys for other prospects from other organizations just so that they don't lose them in the Rule 5 draft. It's like, we don't even have enough room on our 40-man roster to accommodate some of these guys who are so talented, and we don't want to lose them from nothing. So we might just go ahead and trade them for somebody else, whether it's Skubal or minor leaguers in another system. That's how deep their minor league system is.
Our cup runneth over. And yeah, baseball players still wear cups, at least a catcher, right? Is that the cup that's running over right now? Like, I gotta say this though. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the week with Rogan and Rodney. We were in for Fred, both of us
That's
together.
Our local affiliate, AM 570 LA Sports, yes.
And I gotta say, I get it. If you're a Dodger fan, you love this. You're fine with this. Everything's great. But I also understand how everybody else is upset. And they're going to be. And it's not going to stop anytime soon, especially if this all leads to a strike for the 2027 season.
Lockout, by the way, not a strike.
Lockout. Yeah.
This is initiated by the owners, not the players. The players are good.
Well, can I just say this? We talk about super teams a lot lately.
We sure
with
have.
LeBron going to Philly. And I know Lakers fans who are Dodger fans that are not LeBron fans that are accusing him of joining a super team. It's like, wait.
Shaq and Kobe, Malone and Peyton. What happened to that?
And you're also a Dodger fan. Are they not a super team?
Yeah.
Did they not get Ohtani?
How many MVPs?
Freddie Freeman, Mookie.
Cy Youngs.
Aside from all the great, youth development and the farm system, they are special with their international scouting, their development, all of that. They deserve a ton of credit for it. But they also go out there and they get the best guys on the market typically. And they have this embarrassment of riches that is...
He's embarrassing.
It's getting to the point where, when I played video games back in the day, I didn't get a lot of fulfillment when I was playing Wolfenstein 3D. And I put the God mode code in, which I think was just GOD on the keyboard. And I had
complex.
It was 1991. Okay, it was a tough code to crack.
Sure.
And then we got the machine gun, we got the bazooka, or whatever it was. Okay, that was Doom. But we had everything, including God mode, You're immune to the German shepherds that are trying to kill you and the Nazis that are trying to kill you. Hate those guys.
You cracked the code. The equivalent for me is when I got to a point where I was in franchise mode on all Madden and I was still beating people 75-0.
Right.
Right?
And
There's nowhere else to go.
What were your goals during that time? Because I was like, I have to score 28 points every quarter. If I score 28 in a quarter, I feel like I've done something. I'm playing against myself and other scores I put up. Yeah.
And for Madden, for me, it was nothing. I was done. I kind of felt like Aaron Rodgers after he won the Super Bowl, where I was like, well, is this it? Is this what it feels like?
Yeah.
I cannot go any higher up the mountain than I already have.
Is this it?
I've won 7 Super Bowls in a row, and I've lost 2 games in the regular season along the way. This is the apex.
I'm just saying, I don't know if there is much fulfillment like there wasn't for me when it was a guarantee that I was going to win when I won those games.
Yeah.
And I think anybody that's being honest with themselves would say the same thing. But Dodger fans would not admit to this. They just want to lap the league and destroy everyone in their path. And I can understand
as any fan would, by the way. You want your team to win.
You do.
I don't know if I've ever experienced someone who said my team is winning too much or doing too much to try to win. I've never, maybe somebody out there that exists. I don't know. I could see somebody altruistically saying, for the betterment of the sport, it really isn't good. Even though I like the fact that my team is winning, this probably isn't good for the health of the sport. And I would understand that argument if the Major League Baseball, out of any of the professional league, has more parity in terms of how many champions have won the title over the past 20 years. That's the thing. I will say this, Adam, when it comes to this trade deadline, there's probably more owners than not who would actually prefer the Dodgers trade for Tarek Skubal because it would prove their points going into the CBA negotiations.
Yes.
If the Tampa Bay Rays trade for Tarek Skubal or the Milwaukee Brewers and they beat the Dodgers and end up winning the World Series, that actually is a notch in the player's belt. It's like, what? See, small market team won a championship. What happened to the big bad Dodgers with the $200 and $300 million payroll? So
I keep hearing that the Dodgers almost lost the last World Series. Yes, it's true.
Are people saying that they almost lost as like a?
They are using that as the excuse of we're not a superpower team. We're not a super team. We're not too overpowered. We almost lost to the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Dodgers hit in that series against the Blue Jays?
I think it was under 200.
Yeah. It was right around 200. The Blue Jays hit 270, and the Dodgers still won that series. That is an anomaly. That stuff's not supposed to happen.
You can play that terribly on the biggest stage and still find a way to win.
If your team can play at a C+ level and still win the World Series, it's kind of like, what are we doing here a little bit?
Yes, you are right. Now, you mentioned that that's an anomaly. And look, they have been one of the better teams in Major League Baseball for the past, 15 years? How many times have they made it to the NLCS? How many times they made it to the World Series? Not one.
How much better they've gotten over the last 3-4 years.
Yes. But they have not won it literally every year. They were the overwhelming favorites, won over 100 games, was it in 22 or 23, and got swept by the Arizona Diamondbacks of all teams.
They did.
And then the very next year or the year before that, actually, it was the San Diego Padres that got them, I think.
But you know why? Because they didn't play to their potential. Now when they don't play to their potential, they still win. They could hit 200 in a series and still win.
That happened last year. I mean, look, if
in 2024 they didn't have starting pitching and they still won.
Philadelphia Phillies don't, throw up all over themselves and make a terrible play at the end of that series last year, they might not make it out of the NLDS. The margin is so thin when it comes, especially in the postseason, in Major League Baseball especially, because you get a hot pitcher or two. This is why people are talking about Milwaukee. Like, if Milwaukee finds a way to get Tarek Skubal and put him together with the Miz and have that 1-2, with as awful as the Dodger offense at times has been in the postseason, who's to say that they can't beat them?
I think the point of winning a championship is to face adversity and to play your best when your best is required. And I think you can make the argument the Dodgers have not even come close to peaking with this team yet, and they still have won back-to-back World Series.
That's fair.
And that is saying something. It goes back to Kevin Durant joining the super team, the Golden State Warriors. What do we always talk about? Now with LeBron, is he really joining a super team? Could they win without him? No, I don't believe so. I don't know if they can win with him. They aren't the odds-on favorite. The Golden State Warriors could win without KD. That's why I was looked at as such a poor decision. When I used the Game Genie or put in cheat codes on my video games and won, it didn't feel the same. I have to be honest about that. I am not saying the Dodgers are cheating. They are playing within the parameters and the bounds of Major League Baseball. They're doing everything right.
Right.
The question is, and what a lot of people are asking is this good for the game if it's a foregone conclusion they're going to win? Now, you might be able to argue that if you got a big bad Dodgers team and they're the new evil empire like the Yankees in the late 90s, that it could be good for the game, that everybody is rooting against this particular team. And there's even more at stake because we could have a lockout next year. And the center issue could be this super team that is, quote unquote, ruining baseball. I don't think they're ruining baseball. I'd like to see other billionaires actually pony up and spend like the Dodgers are. But I do have some issues with some of the false equivalency stuff, like saying, well, look at the Mets payroll. It's like, dude, those payroll graphics you're putting up do not include all the deferred money that the Dodgers have. That is not showing there. It's not the same. Everybody can do it. Great. Well, the Dodgers are the ones that have done it.
Okay, but that's not their fault.
I'm just saying, like, they obviously
Cohen could do it. The Phillies could do it. Like, there's a lot of the Yankees could do it.
Well, I wish
they're choosing not to.
They aren't super teams. They're not. They aren't on the same level as the Dodgers, is the overall point here. Should the Dodgers be punished for that? No. I'm just saying, if we get to a point and there's a lockout, they're going to face a ton of criticism from every other sports fan outside of Los Angeles.
Yeah. I mean, they already have to this point in time, but to the point that you brought up a second ago, they're playing within the rules and within the parameters. They're not doing anything wrong. Look, I can understand too, because for the people that argue in favor of the Dodgers and say like, well, look, they have all this major league talent, but the reason why they're in the Screwups sweepstakes and seen as one of the favorites is because they have all this minor league talent that they can trade away. Well, my push against that would be they have all of this minor league talent because if they were any other team, these guys like Emmett Sheehan and Justin Robleski, River Ryan, who's not even on the major league roster right now, would be playing if you were in Milwaukee or Tampa Bay. You wouldn't have the money to be able to have Ohtani and Glasnow and Snell and Yamamoto. You wouldn't have the resources to have all those guys.
This is the dream of Andrew Friedman. It has happened.
Yeah. You're able to go down in the pecking order, and guys who would be contributing for you on your major league roster are actually now in AAA waiting their turn because there's no room for them. No, that's what it is. So when you say they have an embarrassment of riches to be able to trade away, it's like, yeah, of course they do, because if they trade away Robleski or Sheehan and a couple of outfielders, that's fine. They got all these major league guys who are fine, and they got a stockpile of other minor leaguers who are coming up 4 or 5 years from now to replenish it. So you mentioned they have the ultimate cheat code. They've perfected. You mentioned Andrew Friedman's dream to be able to use his mastermind, his ability as a scout, to be able to build the minor leagues and then have the actual financial resources to pump in as much money as necessary into the major league roster too. When you marry those together, you have everything. Imagine Sam Presti if he was the general manager of the New York Knicks, one of the best general manager in the league, with one of the owners who was willing to spend hand over fist, or Steve Ballmer hand over fist if there wasn't a tax apron situation. That's basically what you have.
They took away that ability. It's not there in the NBA. It's not there in the NFL. There's no comparison to Major League Baseball. And so to have a level playing field, it's much tougher. I just don't like the idea of, like, every time the Dodgers lose now, it's, I guess we need a Scooble. I guess we need.
Well,
you really?
You look for reasons as to why you lost and try to improve. First of all, what team that does, whether they win or not, you look to improve. The Dodgers won the World Series last year, and they went out and got Edwin Diaz, the best closer on the market.
Yes.
Like, you're doing a disservice to yourself and to your fan base if you're not trying to improve and win. So I can't blame them for that.
I'm just saying, at some point, when does it get to that tipping point, as everybody accepted with KD going to the Golden State Warriors, where those rings did not mean as much? I don't know how to evaluate Kevin Durant as a damn basketball player because of that stuff.
It's a little different in basketball too when there's
break time
players.
Not a perfect parallel,
but I understand it.
But at some point, like, you're gonna get Scooble too, just in case Snell comes back and he's not right, or Tyler Glasnow, and it's like they have all these injuries and they're still lapping the field.
Right. It's pretty embarrassing.
It's nuts to watch, but hey, more power to them.
I don't see it changing. I literally can't believe, and I know we got to run here, but I believe that players will be willing to sit out an entire season if all the owners want to lock them out. They do not want a salary cap. Will there be reforms potentially to the tax apron system? And maybe they incorporate a tax apron system similar to the NBA where it's more punitive. Maybe they do something like that. But the salary cap is absolutely not happening. We lost a full season over that already.
what I want to see, what would impress me from the Dodgers, if they go out and get Scooble, or even if they don't, you know what would impress me? Because it's one thing to complain about, oh, okay, they're supposed to win. They're obviously the best team. But it goes back to Madden for me. It's like, well, at least if I perfected them was one. Yeah. This is at least ever
We pulled that way
actually games for the next season.
I'm not saying anything. Right now. We mentioned the top of the NFL, but speaking of NFL, quarterback count, the contract negotiations that coming up next on FSR.
Fox Sports Radio. When your divisional rival makes a move, Fox Sports Radio.
Some of this stuff we really need to talk about.
Go ahead at Fox Sports Radio.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. You know what's slower than a pace car? Waiting at the car wash. That's when I fire up Chumba Casino. It turns those slow minutes into fast fun. With new games every week, you'll never get bored. Next time you're stuck in the slow lane, speed up with Chumba. Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions
I'm David
apply.
Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Pay testimonial. Time spent on
Is the Wi-Fi working fine?
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know we're on YouTube?
Fox Sports Radio.
You can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube.
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched five ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch video. Parker and Kelshington, the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube.
Wow.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit that thumbs up icon and comment away.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Colin Cowherd. Outspoken.
I know it's uncomfortable and nobody wants to talk about it.
It's the Herd.
This is
the Herd.
That's what this is.
Man of the people.
People don't want Socrates or Aristotle. They want a guy.
Oh, did I mention outspoken?
I'm sorry, guys, but unpopular opinion. Rivalries are overrated.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Listen every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Wow.
Right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove all the doubters.
When Dan Patrick speaks,
Yeah.
you better stop and listen. This is the Dan Patrick Show.
You know, the cover-up, or at least feels like cover-up, is worse than the crime, as they say, or the delay. All the Niners had to do is say, put out a press release. You want to have somebody, at a press conference. Don't take any questions. Just give me the basic details. Your head coach was in a car accident where he broke his nose, 40 stitches, concussion. Is he okay? He is. And he will give you updates. We're in training camp, and we waited 11 days for that, and people knew what was happening. But this is really on the Niners. If Shefty doesn't want to tell us, or Chris Sims doesn't want to tell us, that's on them and their employers. Chris Sims is best friends with Kyle Shanahan. So I'm not going to him for my news. Shefty breaks news. He gets paid, $8 million, $9 million a year to break news. This is breaking news and should have been covered like that. And the fact that we waited and all of a sudden, as soon as the Niners or Kyle Shanahan give the thumbs up, now you can report this. Everybody had something 1 minute later. You had a tweet 1 minute later. You had a full story 2 minutes later. I have a problem with that. If Kyle Shanahan is my friend, I would tell him, tell the Niners to release a little bit of information here. Now, you can talk about your phone and had your phone and you dropped your phone and you're only going 20 miles an hour. Okay.
If you want to know what Dan Patrick said next, just podcast it by searching The Dan Patrick Show. And as always, you can listen to Dan Patrick live weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Hello there.
Two pros and a cup of Joe, putting the more in mornings.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Jonas Knox,
How you doing? I'm Jonas from Champion Roofers. I'm here to check out your leak.
Brady Quinn, LeVar Arrington.
Now that's a teammate right there.
Can you think of a better combination?
I can think whatever I want.
That's what I thought. It's two pros and a cup of Joe. Weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. You're listening to Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports Radio. And we get the people talking.
The audience wants this.
Whether it's the NFL,
Big NFL story.
the MLB, the World Cup,
All right, World Cup.
the NBA,
The NBA.
or just that random story that pops up on your timeline. We do the talking,
You guys talk so much.
and that gets you talking.
First things first, I'll be listening to you guys.
Keep telling it like it is, fellas.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Let me talk.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
FnA, Cotton. FnA.
Back in on FnA on FSR. Kevin Figures, Adam Alston with you guys. Be sure to subscribe to the Fox Sports Radio YouTube channel. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube, and you'll see our best videos from all of our shows. Hit the thumbs up icon and comment away. Let us know whose takes you agree with and even those you don't. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube and subscribe.
Coming up in Stranger Than Fiction, got some cat news for you.
Oh, shocker.
It's not about the Carolina Panthers losing
No.
all their players or anything like
You
that.
got the cat man over here, the crazy cat lady, Adam Alston.
I'm not a crazy cat lady. I'm a crazy cat gentleman.
Oh, excuse me.
All right. Maybe we'll get some cat sounds, some rares from Mark a little bit later. But some people thought there was a wildcat in the neighborhood recently.
Oh, God.
We'll talk about that.
Nope.
Was it wild? Was it feral? Was it a house cat? Who identified this thing? How wild was it? Yeah, we'll tell you. But right now, I don't think he'd ever run the Wildcat. He's too little as a quarterback.
No, but being short as a quarterback in a situation like that can actually work to your advantage. You just sneak behind the big asses of the offensive line, they'll never see you.
That's true.
It's all good. You know?
Who was the Soprano guy that used to run that in Miami that died young?
Tony
the coach?
Tony Sperano.
Tony
The Soprano guy. I'm trying to think of. I'm thinking of Marv from Home Alone. When he went soprano. Oh, was that when the
feel the conflict within you?
We got hit in the nuts with a crowbar. Is that what happened to him?
I think that was the spider on the face.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. I would probably react the exact same way. Yeah, no,
fair enough. Tarantula, sorry.
Tony Sperano, the head coach, the past former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, who was the pioneer of the Wildcat with Ronnie Brown and Ricky Williams back in the day, which we talked about Ricky Williams a few weeks ago.
Was that his second stint with Miami when they were running that Wildcat?
Oh, Ricky?
Yeah.
His second, third, or fourth? I don't even remember. How many times did he get suspended and come back for smoking too much weed?
Puff, puff, no pass. All right. What are we talking about here? Baker Mayfield actually said, I thought some pretty smart stuff earlier today, or was it yesterday?
It was yesterday, but smart, yes. Although people are calling out whether or not he should. It's one of those things where it's true, but should just say it publicly. I personally don't have a problem with it because you look at the way this negotiation has happened. You know, Mayfield and the Bucs unable to reach an agreement. They're looking for a contract extension. Now, Jeremy Fowler of ESPN said that they offered him a 2-year deal worth over $100 million. Baker wanted a long-term deal that was commensurate with other franchise quarterbacks that are kind of within his same ballpark. Your Brock Purdy's, your Trevor Lawrence's, your Jordan Loves, all those guys are making about $55 million per season. Now, Baker obviously had a laundry list of injuries last season. He played in every game, but he played hurt the majority of the season and didn't come close to matching his production from the previous year.
No, he went from 41 touchdown passes to 26.
26, exactly. And his yards went down from about 4,500 to I think about 3,700. So significant drop off. But again, a bicep issue, an oblique issue, a shoulder issue, name any sort of injury that would hinder your ability to throw the football effectively. He basically had last season.
And he probably played through it
yeah,
thinking, I'm going to get paid at the end of this, and I'm going to prove I am the franchise guy. Come hell or high water, I'm going to be out there on the field.
Yeah. You know what the Bucs said? No.
No!
Not the case at all. They say it's not because we don't value you, but we don't value you enough to give you 4 or 5 year contract extension because he's so small, maybe because he had these injury issues. I don't know.
He's had a circuitous route to finally being a legitimate starting quarterback in the NFL too, which probably still leaves some like residual doubt.
Yeah.
Residual doubt from the journey that he has taken in his NFL career.
Because there's an argument to be made that, like, you know, he led the Browns to a playoff win over the Steelers. People forget that happened, but the Browns actually did win a playoff game in this millennium.
That was a huge deal.
It was, and that was under Baker Mayfield. The next year came back, had some injury issues. And so there's always been questions about his durability, although he's played in 17 games the last 3 seasons, I think. Like, even last year, we talked about the injuries, played through them, thinking I'm going to be a gamer, I'm going to be a team leader, I'm going to fight through and try to give our team the best chance to win. By the way, offensive line was in tatters. You know, they didn't have their starting 5 offensive line for 1 snap the entire season, not for a single snap. Mike Evans missed 90% of the season. He's now gone completely, obviously. So
going to miss 100% of their season this year.
He had a lot of things working against him last year. And so for him, I'm sure his outlook is, with all that working against me, play my ass off, play through injury, you guys can't give me more than a 2-year contract?
Yeah.
Don't I owe you, or don't you owe me a little bit more than that?
Well, he set a timeline or a deadline
yeah,
on when they negotiate the deal, and they never met him halfway. And he said in that interview, well, that's it. That was not performative. That was not posturing. We'll wait till after this season then. I'm putting that behind me. It's all about winning football games right now. That's the part I respect most. Respect! That's not an easy thing to do.
He doesn't want to be a distraction during the season or having to constantly talk to his agent about contract extensions and all that. He wants to focus on football.
He believes in this team, as you have to as the leader, but like he is showing it. He's putting his money where his mouth is, or putting money that he doesn't have where his mouth is right now.
The money they won't give him?
Yeah, that money. The money they're being withholding with. I like it, honestly. I listened to, it was like 3 minutes or something like that.
About a 4-minute rant, yes.
I didn't listen to the questions afterwards, but I listened to his initial statement. I thought it was thoughtful and mature of him to go about it like that, and then just move on. Turn the page. Get to the regular season. Don't become a distraction.
Well, look, I guess I can understand from a certain aspect how the Buccaneers are looking at it. They want to make sure they're not overpaying a guy when he's over the hill or he's injury prone. And he's 35, 36 years old, and we're paying this guy. We have a $55 million cap hit on a guy that's not here anymore. But also look at where you are, because what is your alternative if you don't have Baker Mayfield? That's the
Right.
question you always have to ask. People always talk about, is Jared Goff a franchise quarterback? Is Jordan Love a franchise quarterback? Is this guy? Is like, well, the question you have to ask yourself is, who am I going to get that's better? That is guaranteed to be better. We could talk about this upcoming draft class and how great all these kids are coming out, the Dante Moores and everybody else, and Julian Say, great, all great prospects. But who the hell knows what they're going to be when they come to the pros?
Right.
This is a proven commodity who, at his best, is throwing 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns.
You don't have better options.
Not an option, Smalls.
You don't get to get greedy like that.
Right.
That's the problem. And that is his leverage in the end.
Right.
But if he needs one more season where he doesn't got to throw for 41 touchdowns, so give him 35, keep the picks low, have a winning season where hopefully you make the playoffs, and you can do that in the NFC South.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, it's very possible. 8-9, they almost made it last year.
Yeah.
So get back to being 10-7 and play with that chip on your shoulder like you have basically since he came out of Oklahoma. He's just one of those guys.
Even as the top overall pick, he had a chip on the shoulder.
Yeah, he's fiery. And I like that about him, which is kind of why I felt like the interview was so good, because he was measured and reserved, and he didn't lash out, and he didn't take things too far. And I don't think he was unfair with what he said.
No.
To your point, should he have said all of that? No, but if you're not doing that as a negotiation tactic, which most people would, to get them to come to the negotiating table, and that's really just speaking from your heart, I can get with that.
Yeah, because you're giving your side of the story when it comes to it, as opposed to just the nebulous, we'll see what happens. I can understand both sides of it. Look, there's guys who have handled holdouts and contract negotiations quietly and professionally, but that's not in Baker's personality. And if you're the Buccaneers, part of you probably had to expect that he might have some sort of reaction like that at a press conference in a situation like that.
He's committed to his guys.
Yeah.
He is a good leader. I like the way he speaks, the way he talks. He gets it. Like, I would want that type of guy leading my football team. I think the Carolina Panthers actually had him at one point.
No, did they?
They had Sam Darnold also.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else that was a good quarterback that they cast off?
It's all right. They weren't going to thrive there anyway, so it wasn't going to work there anyway.
That's true. This place is dead anyway, man. That's what they said on their way out the door.
Yeah, it's swinger style.
But even if they were able to extend Baker Mayfield's contract, save some of that money, all of a sudden they have more money to actually fortify their roster right now and be more competitive. Like maybe pay Vita Vea so he's not requesting a trade as one of the best defensive tackles in the league. If money's an issue, you can assign him to an extension, him being Baker Mayfield, and use some of the money that you're saving against the cap this year to bring back Vita Vea.
Well, and
it would
he
only help
campaigned
you.
for him.
Yeah.
He campaigned for his teammate.
He did.
And this ain't about me. My contract situation is over. I said this was the deadline. I meant it. I'm a man of my word in that way. And more power to him. I like that. So if he's now taking, more of that leadership position to where he can rally guys around the fact that he's not getting paid right now, and he's trying to be as selfless to get other guys on the team paid, that can go a long way in that locker room.
1,000%. Now, here's the issue. He doesn't hold any cards because if he plays well, he's a free agent. The Buccaneers have the franchise tag. So
that damn franchise tag.
All he can
it's
do,
like the restricted free agent in NBA.
That's 100% what it is. And I'm kind of surprised that the players still sign off on that.
Yeah, talk to CJ McCollum. He signed off on the second apron too.
Probably not the best move for a pretty smart guy.
That was not Samuel L. Jackson in the negotiator.
No, it wasn't.
That was rough.
He plays
now. Taken to the cleaners.
What he could do is he can tell them, "Don't franchise me." He says, "You can franchise me, but I'm not reporting to camp. I want to be traded." Which usually, when guys request a trade in a situation like that, it does end up happening. That's something that if I'm the Buccaneers, something I really don't want to risk, because this guy now is playing with a chip on the shoulder, and he's playing for, not that he wouldn't play for his guys anyway, but it's almost like I'm gonna go and ball my ass off just to prove to you guys what you potentially could be missing out on. I'm gonna play my tail off. I'm gonna have, I'm just talking, an MVP type season. I don't think it's gonna be an MVP or anything like that.
The year before there was MVP talk. You remember that?
Absolutely.
The first half of the season.
What were they, 5-0 or 5-1, and they were running roughshod over teams?
He was unbelievable.
It was great. It was great.
So he does have that high level potential there, but I would think this is almost extending an olive branch, or at least going above and beyond, playing this season, not making an issue out of it.
Yeah.
And if he plays well, That's the type of guy you should take care of.
1,000%. And if he doesn't, I guess if you're the Buccaneers, you can say you dodged a bullet, and then at that point, you can let him be a free agent, and you can move on.
And then we get him in Carolina, second time around.
You're welcome. Oh, Bryce Young has turned the corner. What do you mean?
Not after losing his receiver and everybody.
I mean,
else.
okay, all right. With all due respect, this guy was not like his number one receiver.
No, he was the rookie.
Yes. It's devastating and it's awful. You never want to see that happen to anybody, but it's not like this guy was the difference between them winning the division and not making the playoffs.
Who's that guy we always had in the comments? Gunther, who was a Carolina Panthers fan from
Yes.
Minnesota.
Yes.
Was it Big Gunther? I think that was his name.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him for a while, and there may be a reason. The Panthers have already lost this year. They're not just behind the 8 ball. The season is over. They've been eliminated from the playoffs, and we haven't even gotten to preseason yet.
See what Adam's trying to do? He's
What?
trying to no, you're trying to do the reverse psychology thing. Oh, we've already lost. We're terrible, whatever. And then come week 8.
Is that going to make his ACL heal?
I told y'all.
I told you.
I already know how this is playing out, or how you're attempting to play this out.
I haven't gone, I told you all, like Paul Pierce holding the finals MVP in 2008 after they beat the Lakers in the championship since, I don't know, 2015 with the Panthers over 10 years ago.
Okay, you're wrestling with the Panthers. I was
Break
like,
time.
you say I told you all the time. You pull receipts from the old FnA podcast about stuff that you said 5 years ago.
Well, it's because I told you all.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what's coming up next?
We got some Stranger Than Fiction cat news. Forget your dogs. We're focusing on cats and panthers and felines in this show. Oh, wait, excuse me?
Cats,
Oh,
tigers, felines, oh my.
Oh, okay. Pretty good. I know you don't like the cats. So
No, not
that
a fan.
tracks. And we're not just talking about tigers.
I mean, I
you don't
like
'cause they can eat
Thundercat,
you.
but cats in general, no.
You're gonna like my cats. Wait till you meet them. I'm gonna introduce you to a different type of cat. Maybe you haven't heard of before. A Savannah cat is coming up next here in Stranger Than Fiction on FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Watching us on YouTube has never been easier.
That's absolute fact.
From the show clips
It's on.
to the live shows that you love,
There's something for everyone.
Fox Sports Radio on YouTube is for you.
Yeah.
Check it out now.
It is a no-brainer.
Come on now.
Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube.
Hey, why not?
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is The Herd. When Colin Cowherd drops the info, The Herd, you need to listen.
It's always interesting when it comes to culture, is that I remember at Saban's first year, it was bad. I remember Pete Carroll's first year at USC. I don't know why I know. They were 6-6. They went to like the Vegas Bowl, and I think they played Utah, could be wrong. And I mean, they couldn't run the football, and everybody. And when Pete Carroll got hired at USC, it was not the number one choice because he didn't have a lot of college connection. And everybody was like, he'd been in New England, the Jets, and everybody's like, why are you hiring Pete Carroll at USC? And the first year was bumpy. And then Saban, obviously, he coaches in the NFL. He's LSU. He goes to Alabama, and the first year at Alabama, they're losing home games to Louisiana Monroe. So that's my question's always, it's really easy to sell culture when you're winning. Jim Harbaugh, took over. Go look at Jim Harbaugh in San Francisco, and then Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers. He had some struggles early at Michigan. God, you can go 3 years into Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. They couldn't beat Michigan State. They were getting whacked by Ohio State. Now, losing to Ohio State, there's no crime in that, but they were getting dominated. But you can't lose to Ohio State and Michigan State. And if I recall, there was a game they lost to Michigan State. It was a punting situation at the end of the game. I remember watching that game live thinking, this is going to leave a mark. I don't know if Harbaugh can overcome this. So when you go, I mean, we have great coaches. Pete Carroll in his prime, Harbaugh, Nick Saban. First year is ugly. And now you got.
If you're eager to find out what Colin said next, just podcast it by searching The Herd. And as always, you can listen live to Colin Cowherd weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, Steve Covino.
Oh, boy.
Rich Davis. This is Covino and Rich.
Ashton Genty is in the news today. He says he gave up sugar, right? He gave up sugar for the most part. Azúcar. And he's getting even more shredded, getting in great football shape. Genty is going to be...
And he's going to have a better O-line,
He's going to be more legit with that O-line.
He's got Linderbaum.
Danny, you got new coaching, new offensive line. Like, Genty could tear it up.
He says the biggest thing to lose from my diet was definitely sugar. I love candy. Who doesn't? Genty said he did not feel his conditioning was good enough during his rookie year and wants to maintain his speed and physicality for longer stretches. So he's looking to push that further this year. And hey, working on your cardio and your physicalities and getting shredded, that's not going to hurt. So props to him.
Covino and Rich, weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
Does anyone in the history of sports love to feel disrespected more so than Baker Mayfield?
It's a good question. I mean, I think he's got a fair case this time.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about him up to week 6 as an MVP last year, and then the team that considers him a franchise quarterback only offers him a 2-year deal.
Yeah.
I feel like that's disrespectful.
I think people want Baker Mayfield to be a lot better than he is because he's about a middle-of-the-road quarterback when it comes to QBR and QB ratings, and he's towards the bottom half of the league when it comes to, like, DVOA. People see the chip on his shoulder, the former number 1 overall picks, the dance moves. He's got swag. I'm kind of on Tampa Bay's side here, where he's 31 years old. I'm not racing to give him an extension.
Stu Gatz and Company live is right here, weekdays 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports Radio is taking over YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. 2 Pros and a Cup of Joe. Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company live. Covino and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And The Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio on YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
FS1. From first things first in the herd to your sports teams, FS1 has what you need. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details.
What are you doing down here?
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
Back in on the FnA podcast coming up in about 10 minutes or so. Vinny Bonsignor, senior NFL columnist for the California Post, is going to come on and talk about NFL training camps that have opened up around the country. Right now, Adam, what do we have?
A fast food customer defending her decision to call 911 after her McDonald's ran out of McNuggets.
You can't give a drunk man riding a horse a DWI because, unlike cars, horses don't have motors. They have a mind of their own.
Strange things began to happen.
A 24-year-old man accused of throwing an alligator through a drive-through window.
911, what is your emergency? It's too high.
Stranger than fiction.
So yesterday in Lorain, Ohio, police got a call of a wildcat on the loose. And this cat was wild.
Okay.
But it's not what you think. Or maybe it is.
Okay.
It wasn't a mountain lion like we've talked about in Pasadena as of late. And there was one in Santa Monica. We had back-to-back or 3 stories in a row on Friday nights talking about mountain lions in the area.
Okay. So it wasn't DeMarcus Cousins, an old Kentucky Wildcat.
No.
Okay.
It wasn't Sandra Bullock wearing her Arizona garb being called the Wildcat by Dennis Hopper and Speed.
Quiz, hot shot.
Tell that Wildcat behind the wheel.
It wasn't Salim Stoudemire, former great Arizona Wildcat.
No, Jamal Mashburn in Kentucky. Nothing like that. Ashley Judd.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was a Savannah cat.
Now, what's a Savannah cat?
A Savannah cat is a hybrid of a domestic cat an African serval cat. An African serval cat kind of looks like a lynx.
Oh.
It looks kind of like a bobcat, but with a tail, I should say. Without the bob, with a tail.
So basically, this wild bobcat is mating with like a regular house cat?
This was somebody's house cat.
What?
The Savannah cat.
Now I'm putting things together. So the Savannah cat, which I'm assuming is not legal to own?
Apparently they are.
Okay.
But if they get out, people are going to think that's not your regular house cat. That's not a tabby cat. That's not a
That's not Garfield, man.
Aristocat. It's nothing like that. It doesn't eat lasagna like Garfield or anything. It'll definitely scratch a nodie, though.
Will it eat your cat? That's the thing. How
my cat?
How vicious are these? Yeah.
Well, my cats are soft. So they've been indoors their entire life.
Will the Savannah cat like actually attack regular cats?
Oh, I'm sure it would.
Okay.
They are. I once thought a buddy of mine had a Savannah cat. We weren't sure. They got a DNA test on it because it was so aggressive.
You did the 23andMe on the cat. All right. I guess I could have assumed that this existed.
They got his family tree and everything, and it didn't lead back to being part of an African serval cat. But the cops said upon further investigation.
Yeah, it's about 0.1% Russian, though. So there you go.
The cops said upon further investigation.
8-year-olds, dude.
After getting called in for a wildcat, the animal was a domesticated Savannah cat that had escaped from its owner.
Okay.
Now, this is the part that's interesting to me. And you tell me how you interpret this quote. Because I think this cat would be probably pretty tough to catch. It's smaller than a mountain lion, but it's quick, it's fast, it's climbing trees all over the place, it's evasive. They said, quote, multiple attempts were made to safely capture the animal using a snare. However, those efforts were unsuccessful. And then there's something vague here. The animal was finally captured and returned to its owner for veterinary care. I'm thinking tranquilizer.
Probably. This is like, what game was that earlier this week? Was it a Detroit Tigers?
2.
There was a squirrel on the field.
Oh, I missed that one.
And the entire, literally 12 grounds crewmen are running around trying to catch this squirrel.
Okay,
and
that's
nobody
worse than
could
a
catch
streaker.
it. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I didn't see that. It's just a squirrel, though.
Yeah, you just turn on the Benny Hill music or whatever, you know? Yeah, it was pretty entertaining.
I mean, the Keystone Cops were definitely chasing the Savannah cat around, and I'm thinking, they didn't say how they got it. They didn't say how they eventually caught it.
There you go, Mark. That's what it is.
I could see him with the tranquilizer gun.
They'd almost have to.
Or just maybe not the gun, maybe just like the dart that
the boat
shoot.
you blow through your, yeah, okay.
The cat's fine, by the way, Peter. Relax.
So
it's
wait.
fine because the police saved it and maybe tranquilized it and brought it back into the home.
Right, so we know for a fact that the police gave the cat back to its owner.
That's what they said.
Okay, just want to make sure. I was this thing running around wild and say, hey, man, gotta protect your cat. This is not some
minute.
This isn't Garfield or Heathcliff running around out there. This thing can do some major damage.
No.
And nobody can catch it. It's so damn fast.
And the owner wasn't like a saber-toothed tiger or anything like that. It was an actual
Thankfully.
person. But I got some crazy cats, but Savannah cats are next level and rare. But it's almost like you can get like those little sharks at the pet store,
Yeah,
at the aquarium. Say you have a shark. This is like, you could say I got a wildcat.
30.
It's a Savannah cat, but it's kind of like a wildcat. A Savannah cat's basically the husky that looks like a wolf of cats.
Oh, okay. I got you. Also, you can get one of these things for $20,000.
Oh, that's it?
I'll say rare.
Wait a
My
second.
God.
If I'm a cop, I may be smuggling that cat home and putting it on Craigslist or
Hey,
something.
that's a nice cat we got, player. What you mean we?
10.
I mean me. A cat that we love is Vinny B.
5 seconds.
He's going to come up next here on FnA on FSR, talking some NFL.
Fox Sports Radio is taking over YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. Two Pros and a Cup of Joe, Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Godson Company, Live, Cavino and Rich, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington, The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon, and The Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio on YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
Hey, it's Bubba Wallace from 2311 Racing. You know what feels like forever?
sitting on a plane waiting for takeoff. Good thing I've got Chumba Casino. With daily boost and social casino games on tap, this is the kind of fun that makes time fly. Why not turbocharge your downtime? Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
FS1. From first things first in the herd to your sports teams, FS1 has what you need. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details. Jason Smith and Mike Harmon are dropping knowledge like this.
These guys are sick, man.
There's all kinds of talk about what the WNBA needs, right? WNBA going forward. Kathy Engelbert and her situation as commissioner, where she proves again to not say anything. And I've told you from the beginning, this is it. She's out after this year. This is why she's not saying anything now when she could be helping a lot of these situations, probably because she knows she's out and the league would rather the new commissioner come in. What I gather is she's going to be the fall guy for all the issues the WNBA is having with Caitlin Clark and the other players and the jealousy and the officials. And they want the new commissioner to come in and clean it up. And where she's going to be the fall guy, where it's going to be, under Kathy. And Kathy Engelbert she got them this far. They got the new CBA. Everything is done. Now they need the David Stern to come in with the vision for the league that says, this is how we go from tape delay finals into being the number 2 sport in the world. So this is what the W needs. But again, there's no shortage of storylines for the WNBA. But inherently in this is filled with controversy. And you can't have every headline be controversial, right? You can't have every headline be, because it gets exhausting, where every day it's, I love Caitlin Clark. I hate Caitlin Clark. I love Angel Reese. I hate Angel Reese. I love how the league protects Caitlin Clark. I mean, everywhere you look, you go on social media and you can see where, boy, it really feels like the league is doing Caitlin Clark favors officiating. And then you can say, oh, really feels like the league is not doing Caitlin Clark any favors officiating. All of that being said, there is one easy solution. What can help the WNBA the most?
To get the rest of what Jason Smith and Mike Harmon said, podcast it by searching The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And as always, you can hear The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Right now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
We're still waiting for Aaron Donald to show up at Rams camp. And I had somebody tell me yesterday who works with the NFL. And I said, what do you think about Aaron Donald? He goes, would you go to training camp if you're Aaron Donald? And I go, no. He goes, exactly. You're going to you can't. In shape, you have to get in football shape, and that's different than just regular shape. But it seems like Aaron Donald has kind of maintained his NFL body. A lot of times you'll see these guys, like Joe Thomas of the Cleveland Browns. Like, he lost 50 pounds. These guys, they shed that weight.
We got Vinny.
When they get older. But with Aaron Donald, you're not showing up for training camp. Not until you have to. And, my point is, you're overwhelming favorites to win the Super Bowl without you.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Boom! He's Steve Cavino.
Kick it.
He's Rich Davis.
I thought of like the worst idea possible.
It's Cavino and Rich.
We are in a serious situation here.
They're dropping knowledge.
Everything about it is stupid.
And names.
We did an interview with Jay-Z, and Cavino's like, yo, quick pick. And Jay's like, no. He's like, nah.
What up, Cavino and Rich?
It's Cavino and Rich.
Bringing it to the entire nation.
Weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. Live sports and live programming. FS1. Big games. Big takes. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details. And here Here's what you need to know.
The White Sox now have a 3-game lead in the AL Central after winning 6-1 at Tampa Bay, hitting 4 home runs off losing pitcher Nick Martinez. Cleveland was beaten at home 4-1 by Arizona, who scored 4 runs in the 8th. The Yankees shut out the Cubs 2-0 with 2 solo homers. Cincinnati edged Pittsburgh 8-7. Houston 11-2 over Texas, so the Astros are a half game ahead of the Rangers in the AL West. Milwaukee won again 6-2 at the Angels. Detroit 13-1 over the A's. Tigers pitcher Casey Mize scratched from his start with the trade deadline coming up on Monday. Wins for Boston and Minnesota. NFL analyst Tony Romo was placed on leave by CBS after his DUI arrest last week. In the WNBA, Indiana won 112-98 at Portland. Caitlin Clark with a triple-double. Wins for Atlanta and Washington. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FnA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moot.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FnA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FnA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
That is right. Hour 2 of FnA on FSR. Hit us up on X at KFig1 is where you can find me. You can find Adam at Follow Adam A. We are also at FnA Show and at Fox Sports Radio as well. Coming up in about 15 minutes or so, we will continue our preview of the NFL's divisions. We did the NFC West last week. We will do the NFC North coming up this week. And speaking of the NFL, Adam, we have a special guest joining us.
Phone's ringing, dude. Thank you, Donnie.
Well, cats have been the theme, whether we're talking about the Carolina Panthers or the big cat who played for them and Chris Jenkins or the actual Savannah cats going on in Stranger Than Fiction that we mentioned last segment. But this guy, the cat's meow. It's Vinny Bonsignor, our friend from the California Post. You hear him talk about the Raiders. You hear him talking about the NFL nationally. Vinny, thanks for doing this late night here on FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
Thank you guys very much. Always a pleasure to talk to you guys. It's football season, so I think everybody's pretty happy with that. Get through training camp, get to the games, but a vital step at this point, and as teams open training camp and get going.
We were just talking about Baker Mayfield and his press conference heading into training camp and the negotiations being put on hold now, at least from his side. Did you like the way he handled that, and how do you think this plays out for he and the Bucs this year?
In terms of putting the contract talks on hold, or kind of expressing what?
Putting it on hold, his tact, the way he went about his demeanor there, not being too fiery or not pushing back against the organization, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I've always respected about Baker Mayfield was, the honesty. Sometimes you agree with it, sometimes you don't. Or what's coming, what he's saying. I think he's gotten a little bit more mature over the years, and what's actually being said. But I felt like he expressed some honest thoughts about feeling a little bit disrespected, and he's going to put this thing on hold. And the price, I'm sure, is only going to go up from this point, and maybe he's going to hit free agency. My thing is that if I'm the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm not sure that I don't know. I have mixed feelings about giving him let's just say a 5-year deal. $50+ million a year over those 4 or 5 years. I don't know if he's worth that, to be honest with you. I think teams sometimes, almost not out of obligation, but out of fear of what might be behind Baker Mayfield. And right now, obviously, that would be uncertainty at quarterback, that they kind of get locked into quarterbacks that at high rates of pay that aren't really capable necessarily of delivering Super Bowls or the highest goals. And I don't know that he is, to be honest with you. And so if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, do you do that just because you're scared because there's something that's not as good directly behind him, and it might take a few years to find somebody as good, if not better? That's just a hard question for me. So I don't know if I am the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if that's an investment that I'm really willing to make.
Well, since we're talking quarterbacks, we know the Raiders invested in selecting Fernando Mendoza first overall in the draft. And from everything that's coming out of their camp early on, Clint Kubiak says Kirk Cousins is going to be the starter. I guess the question is, Vinny, is he going to be the starter for now? Is he going to start all the way through the entire season? What is the plan for Fernando Mendoza? Do they plan to redshirt him the entire year, or is the plan in place for him to come in at some point during the regular season?
I think it's more the latter, that he would come in during at some point during the season. A couple things. I was talking to somebody in the organization a little earlier this evening, and Fernando Mendoza has looked better than advertised. He's looked really good, and everybody in the building is happy with that and impressed. I guess the good news, maybe the bad news for Fernando, but the good news for the organization is that Kirk Cousins has looked really good as well over the first 3-4 days of training camp. So, and I think that they're very happy about that. They feel like Kirk Cousins can help steady the ship for a little while, buy them time until Fernando Mendoza is ready, and maybe help them be competitive this year. The question is going to be how competitive and for how long, and I think that's going to determine if Kirk Cousins does start the season, when we'll see Fernando Mendoza. My thought and my feeling is that he's going to play extensively, Fernando. But the only thing that would hold that back is something that would be good for the Raiders and their long-suffering fans, and that is they get off to a good start. There's a little bit of magic in the air, and they're winning games, and they're competitive, and they're in the playoff hunt. And if that is the case, then they're going to ride that out as long as possible, and that would be the one thing I think that would make this a potential redshirt season for Fernando Mendoza. Short of that, I think he's going to get out there at some point and play a lot.
Vinny B, your NFL columnist for the California Post, joining us here, FnA on FSR. Vinny covers all of the California teams for the Post as well as the Raiders. So we're talking about competitiveness. I want to talk about Kyle Shanahan in a little bit, but first just the 49ers in general, because it seems like they kind of get lost in the shuffle. You have the Seattle Seahawks, who are the defending Super Bowl champions. The Rams make all the noise in the offseason, bringing in the cornerbacks from Kansas City, bringing in potentially Aaron Donald out of retirement, and obviously trading for Myles Garrett. It seems as if the 49ers have kind of gotten lost in the shuffle a little bit. What is your expectation for the San Francisco 49ers headed into this season?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I actually think that I feel like they got better bringing in Mike Evans and bringing in some defensive help and making some changes along the offensive line. So I actually think that they did get better, or they have the potential to get better. Plus, they're going to get all their guys back. Nick Bosa is going to be back. Fred Warner's coming back. At some point, George Kittle will be back. Michael Williams, who missed basically all of last year's rookie year with a knee injury. They had a whole the quarterback played 9-11 games or so. So just the fact that they're going to get some of their stud players back, that's going to make them better. But and here's the key thing and crazy thing, really. You can make the case that the 49ers are a better team than they were this year than they were last year, but they may have actually fallen back a little bit when it comes to the Rams to flex their muscles big time this year with the moves that you just talked about, and the fact that I don't even think at this point it's a question of if Aaron Donald's coming back. It's only going to be it's when, barring some kind of a surprise. I think he is coming back. So that's going to be really frustrating for the 49ers, that you get better, but that you fall back further in your division. So obviously there's a lot that can happen between now and February 14th when the Super Bowl is played at SoFi Stadium. But as we sit here today, 49ers are a good team, a very good team, and maybe even a better team than they were last year. But I don't know that they're anywhere closer to closing the gap on the Rams and maybe even the Seattle Seahawks.
Vinny, what's your best guess as to why this Kyle Shanahan car accident seemingly got swept under the rug?
I feel like there's good people up there, and I don't know that they were doing anything nefariously in how their actions, for holding this out for 11 days or so. But then it's hard to sit here and say that there's only good intentions in that. It just doesn't pass the smell test necessarily. And I guess my question is why. What was it that once the accident happened, once everybody, it was okay, thankfully, and that is the most important part of the story, that that he and whoever was in the other car are okay. Once that was all established, why wait 11 days for it to come out? I think you deal with it and you move on, and everyone says, okay, it's a car accident. Things like that happen every day. Fortunately, everybody's okay. We can all move on with our lives, kind of figure out what happened and all that. But now, with the police not allowing anything to come out, any of the body cam footage, et cetera, it's hard not to sit here right now and think, all right, what exactly is going on and why, and is there something that you're trying to hide?
Yeah, and the weird part about it is the fact that they said it was a clerical error when they said that it was the woman's fault, and then Kyle Shanahan basically had to come out publicly and say, no, it was my fault.
Can't keep the story straight.
And if he hadn't said that, will we still be assuming that it was her fault this entire time? Just a lot of weird stuff happening in that story. Vinny Bonsignore from the California Post joining us here on FnA on Fox Sports Radio. The Cowboys get talked about every year in terms of whether or not they can make a run. They have a deeper revamped defense, new coordinator, and an offense that Dak Prescott called on Friday. I think the greatest offense there is, the Gotti or whatever. Anyway, are you buying the Dallas Cowboys and their hype this season, Vinny?
I'm buying the offense. I do think the offense is really good. And I like Dak, and I like the weapons. And I had to see on defense because they were so bad last year defensively that I got to see that one to believe it. But I will say this: if the defense, they're going to be in a lot of football games just because the offense is so good, and maybe that defense can give them an opportunity. And then I look at the NFC East, and I feel pretty good about Jackson Dart, but I don't know. He was pretty good last year. Is that going to carry over? And is the league going to make an adjustment to him? Can he make the adjustment to the league? And then also, can he stay healthy? Can he stop playing, kind of reckless football that puts his availability into question? And the Commanders. I'm a big believer in Jaden Daniels, but I'm not quite sure the rest of that mix works in Washington. And I just felt like something was amiss in Philadelphia. So maybe there's an opportunity for the Cowboys that we aren't necessarily paying attention to. It's not the best division, and Philadelphia to me is a big question mark right now. They usually have a tendency of shutting people up, but they're going to have to shut me up because I have some questions about them. And so for those reasons, and the fact that the Dallas Cowboys can play the best offense in that division, if they get a little bit of help defensively, they could be a problem in that division.
They should get a guy like Aaron Donald. I wish he'd shut us up from having to ask these questions and just be transparent, or you're coming back or you're not. I get it's a big decision. Earlier today, Sean McVay said things are trending upwards.
Mm-hmm.
What's your percentage of optimism of him coming out of retirement, playing for the Rams this season? What chance would you give that percentage-wise here, Vinny?
I've been in the 70-30 range all along. The 30% for me is all about, I know Aaron Donald. I covered Aaron Donald, and I know what Aaron Donald, how he's wired in terms of the obsessive, maniacal work that he put into being Aaron Donald. And it wasn't just what you saw on Sundays. Heck, it wasn't even just what you saw in practice during the week or in the weight room during the week. It was 24/7, 365 days of the year. And it's a obsessive place to be in for that kind of time. And that's a commitment. And he wouldn't stand for anything else. That's how much pride he has in being Aaron Donald. And so the question that I had, that I'm sure he had for himself and had to find out, is one, first of all, do I even want to do that? That's a lot. That's a lot of commitment. I know what it took. I've been away from it for 2 years. It's a pretty good life not having to live in that kind of world. But man, I kind of do really want to come back. Those Sundays are pretty fun, and it'll be really fun with Myles Garrett. But I know what I got to put my body through and my mind through to get me to be Aaron Donald, because I'm not going to settle for anything less. So that was always the question for me: was he going to be willing again to walk back into that world? Number one, and when he did, which he's been doing, I do know that he's gone back into Aaron Donald mantra. And if he did, how's the body going to respond to that? So he was going to give that an honest opportunity, and this is exactly what he's doing right now behind the scenes. He's getting after it, and he's trying to figure out, all right, is the body saying yes, or is the body saying, whoa, you promised me we weren't doing this anymore. What are we doing here? And so I I think it sounds like, talking to Sean today, it sounds like the body is cooperating thus far. And for that reason, I think that Aaron Donald is closing in on, you know what? I think I can handle this. I think I can handle being Aaron Donald again. I think my body can handle being Aaron Donald again. And I believe that I've got something to give you. That's the other part of it. If he doesn't feel like he could give the Rams anything, and nobody's thinking that he's going to be, 31-year-old, 29-year-old Aaron Donald. He is 35 years old. He's been away for the game for 2 years. But if he earnestly believes that there's something that he can offer the Rams, maybe in 25, 30 plays per game, and we'll see down the road in the playoffs if that increases. If he feels like he could be of value, and the body's saying, okay, you woke me back up, I'm good with it, I'll sign off on it, then yeah, I think he's definitely going to come back.
Vinny, the Kansas City Chiefs at this point seem to be pretty polarizing. There's a camp of people who say Mahomes is going to be back healthy. He's trending towards playing in week 1. It's still Andy Reid. It's still Spags. They'll find a way to figure it out. And then there's people on the other side saying, yeah, he's coming back from a pretty major injury. Who knows how mobile he'll be? His weapons are not that great. You did upgrade at the running back position with Kenneth Walker, but it's not as if Andy Reid loves to run the ball that much. And Spags has done a great job, churning over rosters and producing good defenses. But he's lost a lot this offseason to try to cover all that up. So your take on the Kansas City Chiefs and what you think the outlook is for them going into this season.
Yeah, and you're right about Andy Reid in the run game. But it does sound like he has been his heart is a flutter with the whole run game concept. Bringing in Kenneth Walker, they paid him a pretty penny to bring him in too. So there's a financial commitment that the Chiefs made, and they don't do that unless they believe or that they have a strong feeling we're going to utilize this asset. If they do the way they should, then it's going to look different, but it might be better. And it might be better for a Patrick Mahomes that's coming off the kind of injury that he is. It might also be better for what you just described. I'm skeptical about the weapons as well. So they got to figure out a kind of different way to do it. And obviously Travis Kelce is not Travis Kelce anymore. So they got to account for that. And it sounds like that's another reason why they may try to be way more balanced or even be more of a run team than a pass team, or at least 50-50. So if they can pull that part of it off, the run game part of it off, and Andy can stay committed to it, then it might look a little bit different. But I think that they'll be able, with Patrick Mahomes getting better as the year goes on. I don't think he's gonna be Patrick Mahomes to start the season. I know that they feel good about where he is health wise, but it's going to take a little while to shake off the rust and to get his feet back under him. But I've thrown dirt on the Philadelphia Eagles. Did the last rites way prematurely over the years, only for them to pop back up and say, here I am, and go win another Super Bowl. So I'm not ready to write them off yet. It might look a little bit different, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to still be able to be effective.
Benny, if you had to choose between going to Atlanta or Minnesota to cover one of these quarterback battles, where would you go?
Are we talking August or like December? Because August, Minnesota for sure.
Okay.
Not as much humidity, not as much heat. Atlanta humidity could get really bad, but then December, January, it's freezing. So
which battle intrigues you more, though?
Do you believe there's actually even a battle in Minnesota? I mean, it's Kyler's job to lose, right?
I don't. Yeah. I don't. I think I truly believe that that's Kyler Murray's job to lose. And I'm kind of curious, man. I have to be honest with you. I've seen we've seen bad Kyler Murray, but it was also bad Kyler Murray on a very bad Arizona Cardinal team. He's got weapons that he never really had in Arizona, and I think he's got a great coach and a great support system, and Kevin O'Connell and his staff, and they did wonders with Sam Darnold. So who knows? Maybe we're seeing the second coming of that. So yes, I believe that barring J.J. McCarthy just going off and Kyler Murray just going in the other direction, I do think that that's going to be Kyler Murray's team. The one down in Atlanta is pretty interesting. Michael Penix, Tagovailoa.
It's late.
That one's pretty interesting to me, and I'm kind of rooting for Tua a little bit. I like Michael though that as well. I was really a big fan of him when he was at Washington. But it's hard not to be in Tua's corner after everything that he went through, all the injuries that he went through. If he can kind of have a second life in Atlanta, that would be pretty cool for him. So I'm a lot to like from both of those guys, a lot to root for both of those guys. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
He is Vinny Bonsignore, senior NFL columnist for the California Post. You can follow him on X at Vinny Bonsignore. Vinny, once again, thanks for staying up late with us, brother. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you here in a few weeks, hopefully.
Thanks,
1,000%. Thank you very much.
All right, take care. There he is, Vinny Bonsignore, scratching the NFL itch a little bit.
Yeah, like when a cat gets an itch and it brings up its hind leg. Why do we keep talking
way
about
to
cats?
bring it back together.
Did you know how the cat got his tongue? Did you hear that there for a second? Like it happens to the best of us. It's late at
when
night.
you try to say Tua Tagovailoa, that's not the easiest name.
Break time.
It's not even. That's not even his name. It's
kind of like Jairus Saltalamacchia, you know.
Tua turned the ball over. Coming up next, speaking of the NFC North, we got your division preview next.
We the North.
We'll talk about Kings of the North, Minnesota, and Kyler Murray and everybody else. Maybe the best division in the NFL? Or is it still the NFC West? They got the champs. We'll tell you next. This is FnA on Fox Sports Radio.
I get emotional about this. I'm about to cry.
NFL fans,
To the house.
we already know you can't wait.
Yes, that's correct.
If it makes you feel any better, we can't wait either.
I'm ready for the season to start.
I can't wait.
I'm sweating bullets. I really need the NFL.
So wait for the NFL with us on Fox Sports Radio.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. On the track, my car's look is everything. But today, I'm talking about more than just paint schemes. I'm talking about my favorite games at Chumba Casino. Check out exclusives like Stampede Fury and my King Croc Fury. Wild as my car look in Texas. With over 200 games and new ones weekly, play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know we're on YouTube? Fox Sports Radio. You can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube.
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you are the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company. Live.
That's so good.
Covino and Rich. Oh, yeah. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube.
Wow.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit that thumbs up icon and comment away.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving. So it's not surprising if you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS. Unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency, with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
3, 2, 1.
It's Stu Gatz.
Yes.
And he Gatz Company.
I love that.
Stu Gatz and Company. Live.
That's what he's doing. Unapologetic.
And they're blending sports.
Listen, kicking's an individual
predictable sport.
with whatever they want.
I've been consecutive dead shows at Madison Square Garden.
Sometimes the lights are.
It's Stu Godson Company live. Listen weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
I like the morning show.
They're really funny in the morning.
This is the show that has two pros and a cup of Joe.
Who is Joe?
LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox.
Like I told you guys, it's all ball. And that's, if you've waited this long to take care of your franchise quarterback, that's too bad because it's only going to get worse from here. Yeah, I'm going to have a really good year.
So Baker Mayfield letting it be known. He had a deadline. That deadline is passed, and it is all ball. Glad to tell you guys.
Well, yeah, until they offer him the deal he wants here in a couple of weeks. I mean, again, to me, this is all posturing. I understand his emotions tied to it, and it's frustrating, and him voicing this and all that puts even more pressure on the organization. And honestly, with Jonas, when you brought up the stat, I think you said no one's thrown, besides Jared Goff, more touchdown passes.
Yeah, since he's gotten there.
Which I swear to God, when you said that, I was like, I got to look this up. Because it just didn't sound right. And maybe it was just because of the year he came off last year, because 2 years ago he was phenomenal. But it was true. It was accurate. And I was like, geez, that's crazy to think about. And yet Tampa Bay didn't do anything after that, 41 touchdown pass season.
I've always felt like conversations like what he's feeling are conversations that are meant for behind closed doors, not for public consumption. But I will say this, where I'll say someone may have said something and I feel like it hurts their chances of achieving what it is they want to achieve in terms of feeling the value through a contract that's offered to them. That was a very good shade. He shaded.
To get the rest of LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox, podcast by searching Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Listen to Two Pros and a Cup of Joe weekdays from 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. It's Ben Maller.
It's the gas bag on the radio who is tossing verbal raspberries at you.
Your late night getaway. The big dog.
Big.
Got it? I disagree. Good.
So I have abstract art, Fisher Price, and the mighty Zoltar.
What the hell did he just say? It's the Ben Maller Show.
What kind of acid was someone on when they cooked this up?
Listen on the overnights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific.
You guys both hear me on this one?
Sports Radio. There are so many things you don't like.
I hate the guy. Hate him, hate him, hate him, hate him, hate him. I hate him.
Like those talking Muppets that spew some random hot takes.
Yeah, there's a word for those people.
Moronic! Moronic! Zip it!
Not us. We only bring you the sports and entertainment you want.
We deliver insight, not noise, and we give you better.
So if you want that other crap, you can have it. But when you want the best, you stay right here on Fox Sports Radio. Live sports and live programming. FS1. Big games. Big takes. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details.
You're going to remember this the rest of your life.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
Welcome back in. It's FnA on Fox Sports Radio. I'm Adam Mosley. He's Kevin Figures. With the iHeart app, you can stream us wherever you are. Catch us in all of our Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeart app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app to stream us live all day, every day. And be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets in the iHeart app so it always pops up at the top of your screen. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio in the iHeart app.
Thanks again to our friend Vinny Bonsignor from the California Post, who joined us last segment talking all things NFL and training camps. Coming up later this hour, we'll go back to the NBA a little bit. We know the big Jaylen Brown trade was sent to the 76ers, which got the ball rolling on LeBron James eventually signing there. But was there a potential different destination for Jaylen Brown? Boom, with one of the all-time greats that he could have potentially played with.
Could have just played on NBA Jam. Boom, taking my talents to NBA Jam.
He'd actually be the perfect NBA Jam type of player.
He wasn't a dunk contest.
ISO guy, can attack the rim relentlessly.
Yeah. That's a 2-on-2 player if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, absolutely. Jaylen Brown will fit perfectly in that.
Give you finals MVP there.
I'll be all for it.
Tournament edition.
But speaking of the NFL, yes, thank you, Mark. We continue our previews of the NFL divisions. We did the NFC West last week. I believe we each had the Rams, not surprisingly, winning the NFC West last week.
That was a casual take.
Well,
Could throw a dart at the board.
Hey, pretty much. Could we have? Well, if it landed on the Arizona Cardinals, I would have been like, running up to see if I could knock that dart off really fast. That was practice. I was just practicing real fast.
Arizona, that's not a real state.
This week, we head on over to the NFC North. Probably, we talked about the NFC West potentially being the best division in the NFL. I don't know. From a top to bottom standpoint, people argued about like the SEC and the Big Ten. Like, well, the SEC is better top to bottom. I was like, all right, great. Your 14th best team is better than my 14th best team. But anyway, I digress.
There's that meaty spot in the middle, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not sexual?
Well, I mean, the meaty spot in the middle, I think
they're deep.
I get the leg up to the Big Ten on that. But anyway, different conversation for a different show. Maybe we can do that at some point in the future. But top to bottom, I think the NFC North might have everybody beat.
Well, how about this? Last season was only the second year since the merger that all four teams, every team in a division, finished above 500.
Right.
That would be the NFC North.
There is a path, and I think I said this to Anthony Gargano here on FSR a couple of weeks ago, and I did a show with him. There is a path for every single team in this division to win between 9 and 11 games.
Yeah.
I can absolutely see it. Now, obviously, that can't happen, but that just tells you how good or how potentially good all of these teams can be.
Why can't it happen?
Oh, you can count.
Oh, it's
Good
math?
for you.
It's math?
It's math.
The math ain't mathing?
Yeah. So just based on the pure numbers, somebody has to end up finishing last. But just because you finish last doesn't mean you're terrible.
It's just like the NFC South. Somebody has to finish first.
Right. Just because you finish first doesn't mean you're good.
Perfectly put.
They're the best of the worst. Here, potentially the worst of the best. So my worst of the best, I'm going to go in reverse order. So from worst to first in the division.
Okay.
I actually have the Green Bay Packers. And I am picking them last because I think they have the most question marks and really didn't improve their roster much at all this offseason. Now, they'll get Tucker Kraft back, who was on his way to a monster season before he ended up getting hurt midway through the year last year.
Somebody get a body bag!
Yeah, that was bad. But he was just taken off of the physically unable to perform list earlier on Friday. So he's back to practicing. He'll be fine.
ACL?
Yeah.
MCL?
I think both.
LCL?
Now, I don't know if he got the LCL or not.
YCL?
PCL? Jaden Reed and Christian Watson, two talented young receivers, both got contract extensions. Neither of them can stay on the field.
Yeah,
these
there's
guys,
some ACLs flying around there.
These guys stay hurt. And
my name!
Matthew Golden, solid rookie season. Probably not as good as they thought he would be, but going to be a second-year player. You expect him to take a step up and play better. So fine. You're hoping for some internal improvement there. But it's a hope and a prayer for Jaden Reed and Christian Watson because those guys just literally never stay on the field.
Well, plus you got the guy with the biggest ACL probably of them who's still out.
Oh, my name!
Which takes me to the defense.
Michael Parsons.
Yeah, so got worse on defense. Now, granted, Rashawn Gary was nothing special, had regressed his last couple of years. You trade him away, but you don't necessarily do anything to upgrade that position either. Micah Parsons is probably not going to be back before week 4 or 5. If he starts the season on the PUP list, he's going to be out, has to be out for at least 4 weeks.
That pup needs to become a dog.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to happen. The defense just has not really made any improvements at all through the draft or free agency or otherwise.
Well, you say they're relying way too much on Jordan Love elevating this team, more so than we've ever seen from him so far. Like, this is the point where his full potential has to be met.
That's a problem. That's a problem because I don't know if I can. And it's not that I don't like Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love is a good starting level quarterback.
You see how the music went out for dramatic effect?
Exactly right.
Jordan, you better get it together.
He just needs a little bit of help. And Josh Jacobs, who knows what the legal situation is with him, with the domestic violence thing that's kind of hanging over their heads. He'll probably end up playing at some point, but he might miss some games on the front end. And this is a run-heavy offense that's going to be reliant on him or somebody else in that backfield. So there's uncertainty there too. But I think Matt LaFleur is a good coach. I like Jordan Love. They are capable at starting. Jordan Love is a capable starting quarterback. He's shown that. It would not surprise me if they lost 10 games, won 10 games, but it also wouldn't surprise me if they finished under 500. There's just a lot of questions that need to be answered with this Packer team that doesn't make me all that confident in them in this division. So that's why I'm picking them last.
This division is going to be won on the margins. There's going to be a lot of tight, close games, divisional games going on, and it is not going to be easy. And they also, speaking of not easy, they have the 29th easiest schedule, which means like the second toughest schedule in the NFL. The Packers. Okay, not the second because of 32 teams.
No.
So 30, 31, 32. Like the fourth toughest schedule. I can count.
Oh, you can count. Good for you.
All right, where are we going next? Who's not quite at the bottom, but just has the Packers nipping at their heels?
I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
is this because the uncertainty?
To a certain degree, yes. Although the uncertainty is not with what you would think. We talked about this with Vinny Bonsignor about 20 minutes ago, the quarterback competition, where I don't believe there is a competition at all. Kyler Murray is going to be the starter because
Soundboard out.
I've seen, what the alternatives are, and it ain't that great. And a lot of people say when McCarthy came out that he shouldn't have been a first-round pick. I know I said that on Fox Sports Radio multiple times, and they wouldn't did it anyway.
Kevin, you sound like me now. Come on.
You're a smart mother. That's right.
Now, granted, it wasn't like the most, the best take or craziest take. I think it was a fairly obvious one. JJ McCarthy was winning games in Michigan where he was completing 3 passes, 3 out of 9 for 60 yards.
Yeah, but he had those winning intangibles.
Yeah, and he was meditating under the stanchion and all that. Great. Good for him.
Those Tebow intangibles. Come on.
And I got nothing against him, but I don't think he has it to be a starting quarterback at this level. Kyler Murray, like Vinny said, does. He has shown flashes of being a very, very good quarterback. Now, he also has had some very, very negative plays too. But this is
the tools.
Yeah. And now he has no excuse. He has all the weapons in the world.
Well,
Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Jawan Jennings. I mean, it's a who's who of guys who can make plays.
Until you tell me video games have been made illegal, I don't know if he has no excuse, Kevin. Like until video games are eradicated by like Thanos snapping his fingers and they just all disappear, he's always got a built-in excuse.
Yeah, you try stopping and playing a Crash Bandicoot, man. That's addictive.
Well, it's one of the early ones. I can't blame him. CTR, Crash Team Racing was my thing.
that was a good one. That was a good one. I am concerned by the running back position. Aaron Jones, wrong side of 30, not getting any younger. I will say Jordan Mason.
Robert Smith in there.
You remember a couple of years ago when the 49ers had all their injuries at running back and Jordan Mason, who nobody had heard of, came in. It was running for like 150 yards. So he's now in there as a backup, had a good year last year. And I do love Kevin O'Connell and his ability to be able to get something out of guys.
He can out-scheme you.
Yeah, so Jordan Mason could actually be an asset, and it would not surprise me if he actually surpasses Aaron Jones. It becomes a bell cow at some point. Defensively, it's one of those units where it's like the whole is better than some of its parts. Like outside of Van Ginkel, it's pretty much a no-name defense. You have no idea who these guys are, and they're trying to ride their backs on the fact that Brian Flores is a defensive guru, and he's going to be able to scheme these guys to success. Maybe he can do that. I'm not so sure, but I do think they're going to be so good offensively. Even if they take a half step back on defense and are just decent, they'll be good enough to win between 9 and 11 games this year. So that's why I have them finishing third. There are some question marks about Minnesota, but my question marks for Minnesota are more defensively than offensively. I actually have a lot of confidence in Kyler Murray because this is his last chance, his last dance, so to speak, with Kevin O'Connell, one of the better offensive minds in the league.
Well, he can definitely dance.
Yeah, so I think the offense is going to hum. My question is going to be about Brian Flores and that defense.
Yeah, if the defense is just going to get by on 11 guys on a string where they're elevating each other because they don't have the name brand stars out there, maybe it works out for them. But considering if you got question marks on defense and then under center as well, that is not a recipe for success.
No.
I might have to drop them below the Packers.
Okay.
Honestly.
So I was going to say, are we chalk on our rankings here, or did you have the Vikings and Packers flip-flop?
I think I got to flip them now.
Okay.
Because I don't trust J.J. McCarthy. I already know that. I don't care if he got offensive player or whatever it was of the week because of one good quarter against the Bears in week 1 last season. He was player of the week.
His Tim Tebow moment.
That
maybe
was
god awful for 3.5 quarters.
S.
Yeah, right.
I wish you weren't a liar.
They did lie, the voters, in that one. He had one good quarter in that game. He was part of the reason they were down, and the Bears still had to
crap over themselves.
Yeah, make some mental errors. But yeah, I agree. It's close. You could say any of these teams could win 9 games or 11 games, but I will put the Packers slightly higher on the tier for me above the Vikings right now in the NFC North.
I can see that. And it's like I said, these teams are so close together. I can ask me tomorrow, and my opinion might change. I might flip them myself.
See, we got the music back because we're getting to the good teams now.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know. Because I've never subscribed to this theory touted by the likes of Adam Oslin and Rob Parker here on Fox Sports Radio that the Detroit Lions window to win a Super Bowl has officially closed.
That's the one time me and Rob Parker have agreed on anything. I was wondering why you were putting me in his boat.
Mark that tape. Exactly.
That was weird.
Now, look, obviously, they're not the Rams. They're not Seattle. But when it comes to other teams in the NFC, it's not like I look at them and say, damn, there's no way I can see them not beating Dallas. Or there's no way they can beat the Eagles. Or there's no way they beat the 49ers. There's just too much talent on this roster on both sides of the ball. Their issue, there's a couple. They need to be able to stay healthy, which they haven't done, especially at the end of the season these last 2 years, and find consistency on offense, particularly with their offensive coordinator. So they have a revamped offensive line, by the way. They're moving Penei Sewell from the right side to the left side, which is not always a seamless transition, even for some of the greats like he is. They drafted Blake Miller to play the right side. They bring in a couple of veterans for the interior, so they've revamped their offensive line. And they bring in a new offensive coordinator from Arizona, who you say, well, that doesn't really do a whole lot for you, does it? Well,
imagine. It's like, going from the poorhouse to having all these weapons to use now with the Detroit Lions. What's this mastermind going to be able to do with that?
Well, Drew Petzing is known as a run guy, a run-heavy guy. And so they have Jahmyr Gibbs. Obviously, they traded away David Montgomery, but they brought in Isaiah Pacheco to be the backup change of pace guy to fill in David Montgomery's shoes. Not that the Detroit Lions didn't run the ball at all before anyway, but even more so, I think there's going to be a huge emphasis on them being able to run the ball and control the clock.
I like that with Jared Goff as your quarterback.
Yeah.
And I know statistically he's had some really good years for them, and he was their favorite son.
Yeah.
Up until a bad playoff game against the Commanders the year before, then not making the playoffs last year. But
not all
I think without Ben Johnson, get back to basics a little bit more, maybe a little bit more play action, some stuff to throw off the defense to elevate Jared Goff into looking like a better quarterback, because they got the defense off balance with that run game.
Yeah, so I think it might be a little bit more ball control. Take some shots when you have the opportunity to, because defensively, especially in the defensive backfield, they're a little light. Now, they cut Terry and Arnold, who had obvious off-season issues, so they cut him, the former first-round pick. But if you ask any Detroit Lion fan that actually watched him, it's probably addition by subtraction, because he wasn't playing that well anyway. So there's a chance that even as a first-round pick, he was not going to be in line to start this season. But they did have to kind of patchwork together, especially their cornerback room, and their two starting safeties are both injured, Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch, and those guys might not be ready for the start of the season. So there are question marks on the back end. Their front line looks solid. They obviously have Aiden Hutchinson. Jack Campbell is coming back as well. So the front seven, I'm not as concerned about with Detroit. The issue with them is going to be the defensive backfield. But the reason why I have them in second in the division, because I do believe the offensive line has improved, better play calling offensively, more ball control. The offense is going to be back to scoring a lot of points, but also controlling the ball more to keep their defense off the field. So I think they're going to be able to win games just by playing with that strategy.
You know why I got them second?
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Sixth easiest schedule in the league,
That
and
helps.
by far the easiest in the NFC North. The Vikings have the 26th toughest schedule, the Packers the 29th, or easiest, I should say.
Yep.
And the Bears have the toughest schedule in the league.
Yes, they do.
And yet you have them at the top of the NFC North again?
Yeah, and so this is hard too. And this is one of those, give me Bears, give me Lions. It might depend.
Oh my.
So I did find this funny on Friday too. You love how coaches always say, I don't read the press clippings way back in the Stone Ages. Now it's like, I guess I don't look at social media or I don't watch all the TV shows.
Some do call Dan Campbell Fred Flintstone when you go to the Stone Ages.
That is true. Ben Johnson watches because he basically admitted it on Friday. He was like, I see talking heads talking about how the Bears are the biggest regression candidate in the league, and we're using that as motivation.
Oh, he got time today?
Yeah.
Do you believe in time travel?
Good on you, Ben. As you should use it for motivation. But you do have some things working against you. One, you had, I don't know if it was the best of all time, but one of the best turnover margins in the history of the sport. Plus 22.
That's
You realize
an
how
outlier.
insane that is?
That's an outlier.
They forced 33 turnovers.
Not repeatable.
The New York Jets didn't get one interception, and the Chicago Bears forced 33
No, that's
turnovers.
not an outlier. The Jets being that bad is not an outlier.
Obviously, as the great philosopher Charles Barkley once said, that's not going to happen.
I'm a dumbass.
Well, that too. But that's not going to happen again. Now,
they can't rely on that.
That's not going to happen.
Now, the way that you can fight against that or compensate for that is improvement on the offense. Now, we had our back and forths throughout the season, Adam, about on the six-pack, especially talking about Caleb Williams You're like, well, his numbers aren't that great. He completed less than 60% of his passes.
Did I say that?
But we saw some flashes here and there. And I was like, hey, he's been pretty clutch. He's been able to make some plays.
No doubt.
He's only going to end up getting better. And I think that's what we're all banking on, that in year 2 under Ben Johnson. Now, they did end up losing DJ Moore, but you're expecting young guys like Rome Odunze and Luther Burton to step up offensively. Colston Loveland had a good rookie year, so you expect more out of him along with Cole Kmet. They have the talent offensively. A little improved on the offensive line. So you're expecting the offense to take the next step. Defensively, there is a little bit of a question because they really didn't do a whole lot to improve their defense. And again, it's going to be really, really difficult to rely on forcing 33 turnovers. That's not going to happen again.
Yeah, they need more consistency from Caleb Williams. It's not like he can't make the tough throws. Yeah. It's that sometimes he makes the easy throws look tough.
Yeah.
Sometimes he takes chances when he doesn't need to out there. If you can do away with that and really just focus in on your bread and butter stuff, and Ben Johnson's going to scheme things up to where you're finding guys that are wide open anyways.
Right.
That's all you got to do. And a lot of that feels like maturity, at least, like bad habits that you can get rid of as he progresses as a young quarterback turning into a veteran.
No doubt. No doubt. So I understand the issues that people would have picking the Bears to win this division. I understand for all the reasons I just gave you. But I see Caleb Williams being able to turn the corner. I have that much belief in Ben Johnson. And even defensively, if they're not that good at turning the ball over, if they're just normal, if they finish the season with a +8 turnover margin, if the offense turns the corner, that's going to be more than good enough to be able to be competitive. Now, the schedule issue is an important one, Adam.
Toughest schedule in the league.
Yeah, that definitely means something. We talked about this last year with the San Francisco 49ers, the fact that they were so banged up, but because they had the easiest schedule in the NFL, or was it the second easiest? It was one of the easiest schedules in the league.
It kept them afloat.
It didn't matter as much.
Yeah.
They were talented enough at the coaching staff and had enough depth to be able to weather that storm.
It's one thing to have a tough schedule when you're already in the NFC North and you don't get any easy divisional games, but you put not just tough schedule, toughest schedule in the league on top of all of this while you're in the NFC North. I'm not saying that's insurmountable. Somebody's got to win the division, and 2 of the other teams also have really tough schedules. It's really just Detroit that doesn't, because they were the team that didn't make the playoffs last year. But yeah, I think Big Ben Johnson is the difference. He's the ace in the hole for them.
Yeah.
Like, he's the one that honestly I trust most, because you saw what happened to Detroit last season without him. It's not that they were miserable, but they lost a step.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. And it was gained by the Bears. And I only expect him to get better in his second season. Sometimes these things can be cyclical. A guy can have a philosophy where he gets the jump on the league, and then eventually he regresses a little bit. And that mastermind was really just, on top of an evolution that other teams weren't picking up on in time, but they caught up eventually.
Yeah.
Sean McVay, though, that hasn't happened to him.
No.
Is Ben Johnson going to be like that?
Well, because Sean McVay has also continued to evolve. Like last year, for all the talk about Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, like the Rams ran more 3 tight end sets than anybody in the league. And they started doing that in like week 11. I think Greg Cosell came on the show and told us like their offense looked almost completely different from like week 4 to like week 12.
Yeah.
They changed in season with how they did things, and were still just as dominant, but they did it differently within the season. That's difficult. So you have to be able to stay ahead of the curve.
There are certain young innovators that transcend, that aren't a flash in the pan, that don't just have a one-off good season. I think Kyle Shanahan is still one of them.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten over the top, but he's been to multiple Super Bowls. And really, his team and player personnel-wise, you can get mad at him for some of the stuff there, I guess, working so closely with John Lynch, and their drafting's been poor at times. But in terms of coaching, schematics, he's still really good and maximizes his talent that's out there on the field, other than when you're up late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, there's that. Had his share of issues going back to his days as an offensive coordinator when it comes to that.
Yeah, that will always curse him. But there's certain guys, you mentioned evolving with the times. Evolve or die has to be the philosophy, but you got to know what you don't know. Like, you got to adjust in those areas and not to have so much hubris that you just ignore like what could be a current trend or where things are trending towards in the NFL. And you can't just be so stubborn and say, well, my way has got me this far and I'm not going to adjust.
Yeah, that's a quick way to get your ass fired, which is why
You're out.
I think it was Adam Schefter that reported on Friday that Sean McDermott, the now ex-head coach of the Buffalo Bills, actually was at Rams camp this week to spend time with them to see how Sean McVay runs his practices and runs his programs and how he thinks. Sean McVay's younger than Sean McDermott. So
who did some of that stuff?
Who's that?
Belichick did some of that.
Absolutely did.
He would go to the college level.
Yep.
He wasn't just hanging out with Saban. There were other guys that he would check out too, right?
Absolutely. I think he would even go to like basketball programs and check out some of those guys. I think he and Coach K had a decent relationship and bounce things off of each other.
Yeah. He wasn't just spying on the opposing teams he was playing that week. He was spying on some teams in other leagues that he could take and learn something from.
But that's how the best of the best do it. Even like, Kobe Bryant, even at the height of his powers, would talk about going over and meeting Ronaldo and talking about his process of getting ready for games when he was playing soccer, or talking to Serena and Venus Williams about their preparation. Learning different things about different players and their preparation and their mindset going into their sport can actually help you, even though it's a completely different craft.
Well, and sometimes Kobe had them use Cajun stuff. You're looking for inspiration.
Yeah.
You're looking for something to keep you going, making you feel like, I'm still young. I'm still learning. I'm still young in my journey, and I can still become a better player and every day get a little bit better. And that has to be the key, even if it's not true, because progress isn't linear.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You still have to have that mindset because it instills a work ethic in you, which obviously Kobe, one of the best ever in that area. I think he passed by Michael. I don't know if anybody worked harder than him because he didn't have other hobbies.
Right.
Like Michael would gamble and play golf.
Yeah.
Kobe played basketball. I remember one time, I think it was Rome, said he saw Kobe at like 4 a.m. in Vegas or something like that, staying up late. And he was wondering if he was going out partying too. He's like, no, I'm going to the gym. What are you talking about? Like basketball was his passion.
Insane.
That's what he had to have. But especially in the NFL, when so much of it is a chess match out there,
right,
you have to stay current with the way things are going. And if you found one of those coaches, and if Ben Johnson turns out to be one of those guys, and it's not like AOC can't be on that list either.
Sure.
When it comes to maximizing your talent, he just hasn't been able to find his quarterback, or they let one go in Sam Darnold, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard one to live down.
It will be. But a lot of these guys, it's because of work ethic, and it's because of never getting complacent out there.
It's also a level of humility that comes with it, too. The fact that I don't have it all figured out. I mean, Bill Belichick, if there's anybody who could have, now granted, things that are not going very swimmingly right now in North Carolina, and his friend and Mike Lombardi has likely lost his job as the GM.
I didn't know that.
Likely? I think, well, he's
out.
He's on paid administrative leave at this moment in time.
Okay. Like he's on the Tony Romo status.
And I do believe when he first got hired, he told, I don't know if it was McAfee or who it was, but it was like, we're going to be the 33rd NFL team. That's how talented our roster is going to be. I'm pretty sure they're picked to finish like second to last in the ACC this year.
That sounded like somebody else that worked for Bill Belichick at one point, Charlie Weiss.
Yes.
We're going to be an NFL team. Nobody's going to be smarter than us. Nobody's going to have an advantage over us. His best win, a loss
to USC.
To the Bush push.
Yeah.
And Matt Leinart.
Yeah. But to have the humility to say, yeah, I'm a Hall of Fame head coach who have won multiple Super Bowls, but I'm still going to go talk to Gino Auriemma, who's coaching women's basketball, and pick his brain about things that I can do to improve.
Why not? I even do that sometimes with shows I hate.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of shows.
I feel the conflict within you. Let go of your
Few people
hate.
hate as much as Adam does. So, I mean, this is true.
A lot of people who I think are undeserving of certain slots and things like that, but I'll still listen and try to take something from what they do and add it to my game and be a chameleon like that, or be that huge ball of wax like in Pee Wee Herman's house or whatever it was. Was it the tinfoil ball that he had?
I think it was.
That he kept adding to over the years? Like, you can always figure something out to get better if that is your intent. And you don't just, give in to hate.
Let the hate flow through you.
It can consume you. And then you can turn to the dark side.
Absolutely. Did you see this? So Logan Murdoch writes for The Ringer. And earlier this week, he reported that the Golden State Warriors had a chance to trade for, or at least talked about trading for Jaylen Brown before he was sent to the 76ers.
Oh, I heard something about this, yes.
Yeah, but there was not a consensus in the Golden State Warriors building that Jaylen Brown would be the guy to lead them into the future as their number one guy. Now, I don't know what, Logan's, his connections are, well connected at the ringer, sure, whatever. But first of all, Brown is the antithesis of how the Warriors play. He doesn't shoot well from three. He's great defensively. I'll give you that. He's one of the best perimeter defenders. I know his number slipped last year, but he had a higher offensive burden last year, so that makes sense. So once if it goes back to baseline, he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. But he's
like
ISO,
a high-level Kuminga.
Yeah, he's ISO. He's a high ISO player, and he doesn't shoot the three.
You're done.
It's been a bad fit.
We're cooked. Show's over. We shut it down. We can go all night. We use the podcast for 3 hours.
I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46. And I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Fake testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
The summer is hot.
It's a party everywhere.
And nothing is hotter than getting your sports and entertainment right here.
Why are you talking basketball?
Getting you through the summer days.
Every week, every day.
It's all right here.
Let's get weird a little bit now.
We are Fox Sports Radio. Did you know we're on YouTube? Fox Sports Radio. You can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube.
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you were the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company. Live. It's so good. Cavino and Rich. Ooh, yeah. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube. Wow. By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit that thumbs up icon and comment away.
And now, here's a little something that you missed from the Ben Maller Show.
Think of it like instant mashed potatoes. Just add some water.
So we're hearing now that LeBron James, you might have heard about this as well, and a fledgling cable network that is not doing well. They're laying off a lot of people there in Bristol, Connecticut. They're in advanced talks, described as being at the 1 yard line. The 1 yard line for a behind the scenes documentary series similar to Michael Jordan's
Adam, we'll be normal this last hour.
A viral sensation of Pandemic Nation a few years back. Now, if you've not been following this, perhaps not, reports indicate that a gaggle of camera people and sound technicians would follow LeBron James with the 76ers in what may be his final season in the National Basketball Association. Now, that report came out, and then the plot thickened as one of LeBron's underlings, a guy that's been riding LeBron's coattails for his entire adult life, Maverick Carter, not a real Maverick, by the way. He quickly denied the report. He spat a loogie on it like what's that WNBA team in Seattle? They spit loogies, their fans. I don't know what the name of that team is. So my first thought on this LeBron James Last Dance style documentary story, which his guy said, well, it's not bad. We're not doing anything like The Last Dance. So the arrow is pointing to the word semantics. That's the word, semantics.
To get the rest of what Big Ben said, podcast it by searching The Ben Maller Show. And as always, you can hear The Ben Maller Show weekdays from 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is Two Pros and a Cup of Joe.
Yeah, baby. If anyone flexed on us, it was Kurt Signetti, yes. Big Ben.
Listen, everybody's all minded their own business until the big old swinging you-know-what walked into the room.
I mean, we don't run a hype machine up here in the Midwest. We believe everything's earned, not given. And when we fall short, we say we fell short. We don't cry a river, whine, and complain. All right? And that's why we're the best.
Everybody was keeping the peace.
I will say this about him. He sounds like Nick Saban.
He's a Signetti from Pittsburgh. He's a Pittsburgh Italian is what he is. And he has that gumption about him. He's got that swag about him. And it's so authentic.
Two Pros, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and a Cup of Joe. Jonas Knox. 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, Steve Cavino.
Oh, boy.
Rich Davis. This is Cavino and Rich.
Ashton Genty is in the news today. He says he gave up sugar, right? He gave up sugar for the most part.
Azúcar.
And he's getting even more shredded, getting in great football shape. Genty is going to be...
And he's going to have a better O-line,
He's going to be more legit with that O-line.
He's got Linderbaum.
Danny, you got new coaching, new offensive line. Like, Genty could tear it up. He says the biggest thing to lose from my diet was definitely sugar. I love candy. Who doesn't? Genty said he did not feel his conditioning was good enough during his rookie year and wants to maintain his speed and physicality for longer stretches. So he's looking to push that further this year. And hey, working on your cardio and your physicalities and getting shredded, that's not going to hurt. So props to him.
Cavino and Rich, weekdays at 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports.
This is to have you start talking now.
What you want.
Your ears are perfect for this.
We got what they want.
Because there's nobody else like them.
We got the goods.
Final hour, FnA on FSR. Kevin Figures, Adam Austin with you guys. At KFig1 is where you can find me on X. Adam is at Follow Adam A. Thank you guys for joining us as you do each and every week. Vinny B, you of the California Post, joined us last hour talking some NFL training camps. We talked about feral cats in the first hour as well.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what it was?
We're cat people here, Kevin. We like those pussy cats.
You are the cat person.
You're an aspiring cat person.
I don't know if I go that far.
You're still in the closet for now.
Well,
but trust me, when I buy you that kitten for your birthday, I should have gotten you that for your birthday.
You probably shouldn't have.
We went to the pizza place in
Santa
Santa Monica for Ninja Turtles instead.
That was pretty good pizza.
It was pretty expensive pizza, let me tell you.
And it was a pretty long wait.
Yeah, well, you can bitch about good things.
Yes, we can. But coming up this hour, something interesting with the NFL starting up, training camps obviously underway for all 32 teams. Got us to thinking. The players who have the most pressure on their shoulders entering into this season.
Okay.
Yeah, whether or not it's a contract year or they didn't play well last year, playing for a new deal. Like, who knows what their situation might be. But we both compiled ourselves a list of the players who have the most pressure on themselves coming into the year. They're coming up in the very next segment, 877-99 on Fox. We'll get your thoughts on who you believe has the most pressure on their shoulders heading into the 26-27 NFL season.
And you know who I'm going to start with?
Who's that?
A guy named Bryce Young, a pussycat himself.
Well, he has a Panther, so sure.
That's all I meant by that.
Sure, of course it is. Yeah.
I do know he's only 25 still.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was that young.
That's right. It's in his name.
I've been hard on him in the past, you could say.
To say the least.
Of course.
Adam went on a 25-minute rant on our old FnA podcast about why Bryce Young sucks, why the Panthers suck, and why they're going to end up regretting this for decades to come.
I may have said they're the new Browns or the new Lions back when they were bad, or the new Raiders, they're still bad.
No. Like the Browns and Raiders, that aged perfectly. The Lions, not so much.
They're entering their Browns Raiders era with Bryce Young. That's what I said.
You guys were just in the playoffs. Like it definitely could be a lot worse.
Right?
I'm a Commanders fan. Like, I'm sorry, teams have it worse. And I know we had a good year 2 years ago, but
you won a playoff game.
We won 2.
You
went
upset
to the NFC Championship game.
The number 1 seed in the Detroit Lions.
But look at the rest of my life. I'm about to be 24.
I don't want to do that.
I've seen 2 playoff wins in 24 years of life.
Well, at least you
Come on
changed
now.
the name. At least you got
3
that
times,
straight finally.
3 times.
The Washington football team is out. I thought they were going to be the Red Tails at one point. Wasn't that one of the names that was
Red Wolves was the one that all the
Ooh.
fans wanted, but they couldn't get the rights to it.
Who had the rights to Red Wolves?
That would have been pretty cool, actually.
Is that some
Arkansas
like minor league
State.
baseball team?
Arkansas State.
Arkansas
They
State?
could have worked something out with Arkansas State. Come on.
I think that when they changed it, it was still under the Snyders.
So he was going on the
okay,
cheap?
yes. Yeah, basically, yes.
Yeah, he's a real POS.
Yeah, he's too busy staring at the cheerleaders.
You got good ownership now. If you got good ownership and a good quarterback, you're not in the terrible situation. Now, the Panthers, meanwhile, bad ownership.
Do you have any of those?
Bad quarterback. Okay.
Well,
he was good last year.
You got stadium turf that everybody loves playing on.
Just because I can't forget about 2024 and Bryce Young being replaced by a ginger and Andy Dalton. Like, I'm sorry, I can't get over that, guys. I will never get over that. I'm not sure he will either.
Yeah, you know what? Who else won't get over it? Me. Because you know who Andy Dalton's first start, what the Panthers was against? The Raiders. You know what happened? The Raiders lost. I remember that.
You would lose to Andy Dalton.
Yeah, yes, they would.
I'm just saying, last season could have been a fluke. And by the way, winning the NFC South does not mean you're a great team. Oh, you made the playoffs and you won the NFC South. Way to go. What did they have? 9 wins? Weren't there 3 teams that had a chance at winning that division in week 18 last season? Or was it 19? How many weeks we playing now? They each play 17 games.
So there's
and
18,
get a bye in
there are
there.
18
So
weeks.
18.
18 weeks. Yeah.
Like, it was close. It was very close.
I mean, you know what else was close? That playoff game against the Rams.
Well,
They
the
were right
Rams
there.
obviously underestimated
Oh, is that
them.
what it
Hearing
was?
my rants over the years about the Carolina Panthers and talking about how bad they are and will continue to be. But Bryce Young, he has to be under some pressure here. He has to be. You have to take that next step. Win a playoff game now.
Okay, well, look, he has progressively gotten better. This is his last year, his third season. He did lead them to the postseason. His completion percentage was up. His touchdowns were up. His interceptions were down.
It took a ginger to light a fire under his ass with that red hair to get him to play harder. Is Andy Dalton still on the team, by the way?
I don't know.
Can we use that as motivation? His head is the poker to the ass of Bryce Young to make sure he motivates him.
He's an Eagle. He is the Philadelphia Eagles' 3rd string quarterback behind Tanner McKee.
3rd string seems a little too high for him still.
That's quite a fall from grace from a guy that was a perennial starter for a playoff team in Cincinnati to being 3rd string.
Yeah.
But hey, I'll collect the check. What's better a minimum for him? Like 1.5? I'll take it.
He did real great in those playoff games, he and Marvin Lewis, let me tell you.
Speaking of not winning a playoff game,
what do you got?
Not a single one. I'm actually going to go with Dexter Lawrence. And it's probably a little off the radar. You would usually think quarterbacks in situations like this.
Yes, you would.
And it's probably unfair, but he is now the face and hopeful savior of the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Because you talk about god-awful units.
Would they give up 31 a game last year?
Yes, they were terrible. I don't know if they were historically bad, but man, they were bad. So one of the best run stuffers in the league, one of the best leaders defensively in the league, he is going to be the task with being the head of the snake on the defensive front. That really hasn't done much else but bring him in. They did bring in a couple of guys on the back end to help with the defensive backfield. We know what they can do offensively. The offense is going to be totally fine.
If Joe Burrow's healthy.
Yeah, well, if Joe Burrow is able to stay upright.
And still likes playing football.
Sounds like he does. You know, from all the comments I've heard the last couple of days at training camp. So he says, you know, if you're not motivated and out here to play hard, then you shouldn't be playing football. He sounds like he's motivated and he's ready to go.
Look, everyone feels like they can win the Super Bowl this time of the year. Even your guys, even the Raiders.
Well, let's not get crazy.
I'm sure Kirk Cousins.
Well, look, if I were him, and I had Jamar Chase and Higgins and all these weapons around me, I would feel pretty confident that I can win the Super Bowl too if I just had a smidge of help. I just need a little
average
bit.
defense.
Yes, you're gonna be a top 5 offense if everybody stays healthy. I just need to be. I could be 20th. Give me number 20 out of 32.
How good was their defense when they lost to the Rams in the Super Bowl?
Better
a
than
very
that.
close
Better,
game.
they were better than that. They
Were
had
they
some
top
really
10 though.
They had some really good talent on the defense. I don't know if they were top 10, but they were probably top 15, and I believe they were in the top 10 in sacks.
So in the top half of the league.
Yes, they were in the top half. Indeed, they were actually a very solid defensive unit that year.
Yeah. All right.
So I off the beaten path a little bit, but I do think Dexter Lawrence has a lot of pressure on his shoulders to be the defensive savior for one of the worst defensive units in the league last year. And again, all he has to do is raise the floor a little bit. and he'll make a huge impact.
I'm going to go with a guy who's already had a Hall of Fame career. You wouldn't think there'd be much pressure on him, but sometimes people will remember you for what happened at the very end. It could leave a mark, especially with the way things have gone off the field the last few years. He's become very divisive. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers in his Swan
the last few years
song season.
I feel like he's been divisive his entire career.
I mean,
it's gotten worse. Yes.
I don't remember him being this polarizing to where it's political.
It's gotten worse.
Yeah. And the documentary, he's an enigma, but it seems pretentious and he's putting it on an act. At least that's what some people feel like.
I mean, people are saying that his wife doesn't even exist. I don't know if that's true or not.
It's all an act.
I don't
He's
know.
got the blow up doll under his bed like Bud Bundy. That's what it is.
So when he says he talked to his wife and he says he's definitely not coming out of retirement, it's like, that's what it was. You have to blow her up and talk to her and say like, hey, this isn't going to work.
He squished her and it made her whisper that in his ear or squeal or whatever.
Can we get a celebrity death match between Manti Te'o's ex-girlfriend and Aaron Rodgers' wife? Can we make that happen?
Yeah.
Can we get a Netflix boxing match for that?
Plus the Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four. Is she going to be in Doomsday? I'm sure she is. Aaron Rodgers.
It's not Jessica Alba, so I don't care.
Is in his final season.
Nope.
Right?
Yeah.
It's official.
That's what he says. Yes.
Okay.
That's what he said.
I don't know if I trust a guy like this.
No.
Because what if he has a really good year?
Sure.
What if they make the playoffs? What if they win a couple of games?
I don't necessarily see that happening, but
okay, you're right.
I'll reserve judgment on that when we do our AFC North preview. But
you don't trust Mike McCarthy as a head coach?
Yeah.
But with Aaron Rodgers, they've made magic before. Now, I think a lot of that was just Aaron Rodgers. And I think they had a really good defense.
And that was also many years ago, many moons ago, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it might have been like
not 40 plus year old Aaron Rodgers with a, recovering from an ACL injury from a few years back.
Our friend Brady Papinka was still in the league.
Yes, he was.
Kicking ass. Clay Matthews was the best defensive player in the league during that time.
Charles Woodson was still playing.
He broke his collarbone in the Super Bowl in the first half.
Defensive player of the year that year.
Who was Dom Capers was the defensive coordinator.
Was the DC.
My guy from the Carolina Panthers, Kevin Green, RIP, was I think the linebackers coach. Something like that.
Was he? Okay.
He was in there.
Right.
He was in there.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Aaron Rodgers, I would love for him to get one more shot at it. And I'm not sure that's going to happen. This team may be closer to the level of talent Jordan's Wizards had. I'm just hoping it doesn't go disastrous.
I mean, you got traded for the receiver from
DK.
Well, you still have DK. You have the receiver from the Colts who went to USC, whose name is slipping my mind right now. So you have some offensive talent. You raised the ceiling there. Thank you, Michael Pittman. Thank you. And TJ Watt is still there defensively. So it's not like you don't have talent.
No.
You don't have the depth of talent you used to have. I think that's part of the issue. I don't like the offensive line. So
is it a coaching upgrade to get off of Mike Tomlin for Mike McCarthy? I'm just wondering.
I would not say so.
It ran its course.
That's the narrative people run with, is like he was there forever. It kind of ran its course. It wasn't getting worse, but it wasn't getting better. You just kind of were living, just existing, and existing wasn't enough.
Middle of the pack.
Now,
team.
I'll say this. I mean, Mike McCarthy has a pretty, I don't know what his record is off the top of my head, but I know it's pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of losing seasons under his belt.
Hardly any.
He's not been a losing coach. Now, the postseason is different in decision-making and whether or not his teams are prepared.
He can't win on the margins.
I mean,
he's going to make a fatal mistake.
I mean, I'm still, that home game between the Packers and the Cowboys from a couple of years ago when the Packers were up like 28-0 by the end of the first quarter and the Cowboys were at home. I still don't understand how that happens. How a team can come out that unprepared, that flat at home in a playoff game. I guess a team with no experience. That was Jordan Love's first start.
More round with the way he looks and then flat.
That wasn't necessary.
I'm sorry. What do you got?
I'm going to move on and talk about and stay in the AFC North and go with Lamar Jackson. We talked about him a little bit last week. In a contract situation, it's not necessarily the last year of his contract, but his cap number next year is like $80-something million. He's not going to play on that. There's going to have to be some sort of resolution when it comes to Lamar Jackson and that contract. Either he signs an extension to stay with Baltimore, or they find a way to work out a way that he gets traded. Now, he does have a no-trade clause, so that complicates it a little bit. And look, he's been productive. He was kind of down last year. His numbers were fine, but if you watched him play, wasn't his best. But a couple years before that, played amazingly. And I still think he has amazing years ahead of him. One thing he has working against him, talking about the postseason, He has not performed well on the biggest stage.
No.
And that is something that he's had to fight against. I think he's made the postseason 4 times, and he has not performed well in closeout games in any of those situations.
Well, one time, didn't he have to go to the bathroom? Like he had a Paul Pierce situation.
Did he crap on himself on the field?
I thought
No,
like
literally, or did he just crap himself on the field because he played so
Well,
poorly?
it could have been mud. I don't know.
I don't necessarily recall that happening, but I can see the Ravens potentially cutting bait. It's like, look, if we win 10, 11 games again, make it to the playoffs, and then it's a dud for you once again, with you having this big cap number, it might be smart or prudent for us to maybe cut bait early as opposed to late.
Jesse Mentor gets his own guy.
Yeah, trade you away, get some assets, because somebody's going to trade for him. He's that talented, and see if we can move in a different direction. I'm not the biggest fan of that. If I have a guy who's that productive in the regular season, I try to stick with him and just fortify the roster around him to see if I can just kind of raise his level a little bit in the postseason. But I can certainly see, depending on how the season ends, the Baltimore Ravens potentially deciding to move on from Lamar Jackson and trading him away for assets and moving on with the quarterback position.
All right,
There's a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
There probably shouldn't be as much pressure as I think there is from the outside, maybe internally too, because he's such a competitor. Patrick Mahomes, you asked Vinny about it earlier. I think you look at the last 2 seasons, last couple of years, the narrative is starting to be, is he washed at 30? And then you have the knee injury on top of it. And you're starting to wonder, like, are his best years already behind him? They shouldn't be typically as a quarterback, but he's also somebody that can move around a lot. All the escapability he showed in that Super Bowl against the Bucs, where he was like running for his life the entire time.
Quite literally.
Is he still capable of things like that?
Yeah.
He's had enough injuries at this point where he might have to stay within the pocket more and show a different side of him, which could elevate his status in my mind. Like if he can change his game because he doesn't have the athletic ability anymore and still be an elite quarterback, that would be impressive to me.
Yeah.
That would actually enhance his legacy.
Reinvent himself to a certain degree. Michael Vick did that when he came back from his suspension and became more of a pocket guy and was tearing teams apart. Something he didn't even have the ability to do
the Chip
when he
Kelly
was in Atlanta.
Did he finish top 3 or 5 in MVP that one year with the
Well,
Eagles?
I think even before Chip, when Andy was still there, I think, because remember they signed him to be a backup to McNabb, and McNabb got hurt, and Vic came in there, and they were gangbusters on offense and never missed a beat.
That was a fun team.
It was great to watch. He had a phenomenal Monday night game, I think,
Sean Jackson
against the Commanders or the Redskins back at the time.
Yeah.
So he had an amazing resurgence and kind of reinvented himself the second half of his career.
You remember that game, Julian? You remember what he did to you? You remember Michael Vick? What do you know about Michael Vick? You don't know about Madden 2005. You're too young.
Yeah, you're
I mean,
a youngster.
I know the throw to Djax, like what was it, the 80-yard touchdown on
Yep,
one of the
that was-
first plays of the game. I've gone back and lived through the tortured history of my team. Like I
Study
feel like
up.
it's a rite of passage as a fan, but I mean, I got the blinders on from before. It's all looking ahead.
At some point, they'll just make sure you check out the Doug Williams stuff, and you'll be good. And Joe Theismann.
Yeah.
The good stuff.
John Riggins, the good old days,
There's some positives.
all the stuff that happened before I was born, and I'm an old man. So there you go.
I was like -10 when
Yeah,
Doug
exactly.
Williams.
All right,
won.
you don't have to make you feel that old, Julian. Jeez.
F you, Julian.
All right, another quarterback. A lot on his shoulders coming into this season. C.J. Stroud. All indications are the Texans do plan to extend him, but if he has another season like the previous 2 that he's had,
Oh, you don't want to extend that.
how can you? I'd rather go out and if Baker Mayfield's available, let me go grab him and sign him to a contract.
He's looked straight shell-shocked in the playoffs now. He looks, with how good their defense is, like that team is ready to win, and he's holding them back.
A disservice to the rest of that team if C.J. Stroud is going to go out and perform that way. Now, look, this is going to be year 2 with Nick Caley as his offensive coordinator. I think he's had a different offensive coordinator a couple of times in his short tenure, so we'll give him that. But they trade for David Montgomery, a legit running back, so they're hopefully, I believe, going to run the ball a little bit more this season. But it's put up or shut up time for C.J. Stroud. You have a quality receiver, Nico Collins, who's back healthy for you again this year. Hopefully, like I mentioned, you're going to be able to run the ball. You had a defense so dominant that despite the fact that C.J. Stroud had 15 interceptions in that playoff game against New England, it was like a one-possession game early in the fourth quarter of that game. That's how good their defense is.
Oh, they're dominant. They're one of the better defenses in the modern era, and they're not getting the credit because their offense and their quarterback is holding them back.
I do think if C.J. Stroud does not take a next step and he struggles again throughout the regular season and into the postseason, it would not surprise me one bit if the Houston Texans try to find a way to move on. or at the very least, do not sign him to an extension and maybe just pick up his 5th-year option.
I could see that. And especially when you make quotes like, I feel old at 23 or 24, whatever it is. I can't run like I used to. Why would you say that out loud, even if it's true? You're trying to get them not to pay you. That's what it feels like here.
Can I ask you guys something about CJ Stroud? Do you think if he was just competent, like not even good, but just solid enough that they could have won the Super Bowl this year?
Yes. Look, you don't have to be the 2007 Tom Brady breaking records, but you can't be like 1999 Sean King either. Just be somewhere. Be Brad Johnson for the Buccaneers.
You didn't have to do Sean like
be
that.
Trent Dilfer. Well, be Trent Dilfer, who gets used as the example all the time with the Baltimore Ravens.
You know they called him Sean Queen?
Yeah, I didn't say that. I wasn't going to
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah. Sean King was a quarterback for a dominant Buccaneer team. They lost to the greatest show on turf, Rams, and the final score was like 11-8 or something. It was a baseball score.
Yeah,
but anyway,
some dominant teams there.
Yes, he just needs to be half decent. Just be okay.
Game manager.
Yeah, be a game manager.
Don't make major mistakes out there.
Right.
The defense will take care of the rest.
Get some completions. Make a play here or there. Be a caretaker.
Do what Sam Darnold did in the Super Bowl. He wasn't the Super Bowl MVP.
No, and Sam actually was disappointed with the way he performed. He says, I should have played better. We would have won in more of a landslide. Do what Peyton Manning did against the Carolina Panthers, not to bring up bad memories for Adam.
Or the Bears. I don't know. I wouldn't even give him that much credit for the Bears. Like, who Dominic Rhodes won the MVP.
I
in
believe
that
it was
Super Bowl.
Dominic Rhodes, yes.
Sam Darnold is my final guy here.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, to me, it's not that you can take anything away from what they did last season, and I still think they're going to be really good this season.
Got to show me again, right?
But Sam Darnold has had so many doubters, and the talent is there. Like, it's always been between the ears. This is it. You're a Super Bowl champion. You had an incredible season. Just keep going, because you can rewrite the whole entire damn career of yours right now.
No doubt.
Like, you could fulfill the potential that you had coming out of USC. You go on like a 5-year run where you're a competitive team and you're putting up big numbers every week as the quarterback.
If you win another Super Bowl, people are going to talk about you being a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And Russell Wilson didn't win 2 with Seattle.
Damn straight.
I mean,
sure didn't.
I think Sam Darnold, like, no matter what happens, like, it's gravy at this point, of course, but he has the potential to really have a meteoric rise like he could have had if he didn't have to go to the Jets to start things off and was seeing ghosts and all those things. He can do anything out there on the field. He can make all the throws. And now he has this reservoir of confidence, at least he should, because of what happened last season. So unleash and just keep going. Keep yourself in the conversation of being close to a top 5 quarterback in this league year in and year out.
I'm seeing the irony of all ironies that Dante Moore allegedly went back to Oregon so he didn't have to play for the Jets. What if the Jets suck again? And they're they have the first overall pick. Well, excuse me.
You have to ask that question.
The Jets are going to suck again. It's just a question of how bad. And he finds himself in that exact same situation this coming year.
There's no escape.
Yeah. 877-99 on Fox is the telephone number. Call in. Let us know who you believe has the most pressure on their shoulders. Player, list of players, you let us know. 877-99 on Fox. Players with the most pressure on their shoulders this upcoming NFL season. It is FnA on FSR.
Need an arm?
They're looking for bullpen.
A bat?
They're going to move some decent names to get those pieces.
Maybe you need a whole new squad.
Get rid of everyone. They stink, they stink, they stink.
Teams are making moves.
Yes!
And we're talking about it.
Maybe a shortstop.
It's your MLB trade deadline news on Fox Sports Radio.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. You know what's slower than a pace car? Waiting at the car wash. That's when I fire up Chumba Casino. It turns those slow minutes into fast fun. With new games every week, you'll never get bored. Next time you're stuck in the slow lane, speed up with Chumba. Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary.
Darnold had the game of his life against us last year. He was like, 19 of 19, 280 and 4 touchdowns at half. Same game, Jaden's elbow.
The unexpected happened.
It was
With
rough.
Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful.
Adam, try talking again.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's
I hear you now.
ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Here's the deal. The government is over $38 trillion in debt, which means the IRS isn't slowing down. And the tax code is complex and unforgiving.
We were on air the whole
If
time.
you're one of the millions of Americans that owe back taxes to the IRS, unfortunately, they're the world's most powerful collection agency with the ability to garnish your wages, seize your bank accounts, and even take your home or business. But don't be stressed or worried any longer. We're Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. We have resolved over $3 billion in tax debt for our clients. Our award-winning professionals deal with the IRS every single day, protecting our clients and preparing them for the best possible resolution. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, give Optima a call today.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Did you know we're on YouTube?
Fox Sports Radio.
You can find all of your favorite shows on YouTube.
Look at us. We're waving at you right now.
Did you know that you can find the best clips and the best videos from your favorite shows?
All the interviews, clips, everything is there.
This is why you're the smartest listeners in the world.
Completely agree.
Because you went to YouTube and you searched Fox Sports Radio, and you were the ones that hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You're the ones that watch videos from Two Pros and a Cup of Joe with Jonas Knox, Brady Quinn, and LeVar Arrington.
You can't even make this up.
Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company. Live.
It's so good.
Cavino and Rich. Oh, yeah. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
Think about that for a second.
And the Ben Maller Show.
Fox Sports Radio.
On YouTube.
Wow.
By searching Fox Sports Radio.
Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Hit that thumbs up icon and comment away.
One guy sees the whole board.
I keeps it real, son.
But here's where I got smoke with you, sir.
The other guy sees what he wants.
Kelvin, you're so full of it.
I know they won the game, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give it to you real.
They couldn't be further apart.
Well, let me say it this way.
Stop it.
And that's why this works. It's The Odd Couple.
Book it.
With Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
You know you make me wanna. Keep screaming.
Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove all the doubters.
When Dan Patrick speaks,
Yeah.
you better stop and listen.
Yeah.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
You know, the cover-up, or at least feels like cover-up, is worse than the crime, as they say, or the delay. All the Niners had to do is say, put out a press release. You want to have somebody, at a press conference. Don't take any questions. Just give me the basic details. Your head coach was in a car accident where he broke his nose, 40 stitches, concussion. Is he okay? He is. And he will give you updates. We're in training camp, and we waited 11 days for that, and people knew what was happening. But this is really on the Niners. If Shefty doesn't want to tell us, or Chris Sims doesn't want to tell us, that's on them and their employers. Chris Sims is best friends with Kyle Shanahan. So I'm not going to him for my news. Shefty breaks news. He gets paid, $8 million, $9 million a year to break news. This is breaking news and should have been covered like that. And the fact that we waited and all of a sudden, as soon as the Niners or Kyle Shanahan give the thumbs up, now you can report this. Everybody had something 1 minute later. You had a tweet 1 minute later. You had a full story 2 minutes later. I have a problem with that. If Kyle Shanahan is my friend, I would tell him, tell the Niners to release a little bit of information here. Now, you can talk about your phone and had your phone and you dropped your phone and you were only going 20 miles an hour. Okay.
If you want to know what Dan Patrick said next, just podcast it by searching The Dan Patrick Show. And as always, you can listen to Dan Patrick live weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's Colin Cowherd, outspoken.
I know it's uncomfortable and nobody wants to talk about it.
It's The Herd.
This is
The Herd.
That's what this is.
Man of the people.
People don't want Socrates or Aristotle. They want a guy.
Oh, did I mention outspoken?
I'm sorry, guys, but unpopular opinion. Rivalries are overrated.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Listen every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Wow.
Right here on Fox Sports Radio. We like to give. We give you news.
There is late breaking news.
It has been confirmed.
Multiple outlets have just reported.
We give you videos.
Watch us live on YouTube right now.
We give you a platform.
Go ahead, you're on Fox Sports Radio.
FnA is great as he is just happy.
We give you the best sports talk lineup in the nation. All day, all night. We're giving it to you.
How you do anything is how you do everything, right?
You know you're listening to Fox Sports Radio, the premier sports lineup in the nation. FS1. From first things first in the herd to your sports teams, FS1 has what you need. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Fairly alarmed here.
FnA, Cotton, FnA.
Welcome back in. It's FnA on Fox Sports Radio. I'm Adam Oslin. He's Kevin Figures. For the best pregame show every weekend, be sure to tune in to Fox Sports Radio's Countdown presented by BetMGM. Every Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific, we will count you down to all the biggest games of the weekend. Tune in to Countdown presented by BetMGM every Saturday and Sunday morning right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart app.
877-99 on Fox is the telephone number if you want to chime in on our discussion. The NFL player with the most pressure on their shoulders this upcoming season. I do have a couple more before we move on.
Give them to me.
We talked to him about him a little bit earlier in the show. Caleb Williams. Got to get that completion percentage up. We talked about the fact that our defense is going to take a little bit of a step back this year from forcing all those turnovers, which means more of a burden is going to be placed on the offense.
Make the easy play.
Yes.
You don't have to hit the home run all the time. Get some singles and doubles in there, Caleb.
Yeah, the throw to DJ Moore in the postseason last year, phenomenal.
Oh.
Can you complete a 5-yard in route? Can you do that? That's the thing. I'd rather you hit 15 of those than one of those, oh my God plays.
Right.
Tom Brady made a career out of doing that.
Dinking and dunking and taking what the defense gives them. That's it.
You can win championships doing that.
Yeah.
Just
be efficient.
And so I think there's a lot of pressure on the shoulders because he has to be better. The offense has to be better because they're just not going to get the boost from the defense they had last season. And look, there's a lot of expectations. First overall pick, playing with Ben Johnson, an offensive guru in year 2. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on Caleb Williams to take that next step this year.
We've already gotten to that place with Ben Johnson where it's like, if you're not stepping up and putting up numbers in this offense, you're the problem. It's not Ben. Like, that's the level of respect we're giving him already. And I guess he's earned it.
You're basically Shanahan level.
Yeah.
You're Shanahan McVay. Sean McVay can bring, Baker Mayfield off the street and in practice for 2 days, and he can lead a win over the Raiders on Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football.
After Jared Goff left McVay and went to the Lions, that he would have a drastic regression.
Yeah.
The reason he didn't, Ben Johnson, I guess.
1,000%.
He's a quarterback whisperer out there, too. He knows how to maximize his guys.
No doubt. Another one that I have that is interesting, A.J. Brown.
Ooh.
Reunited with Mike Vrabel in New England. Talented young quarterback, but inexperienced. Can he keep his head on straight and not turn into a locker room cancer or distraction again? Now, you would think he knows Mike from his days in Tennessee.
Distract Mike Vrabel?
That's a good question.
Mike Vrabel's got his own built-in distractions now. Can he? That's tough to compete with the head coach and what he's got going on.
That's a lot for a team that's really young to have to deal with. You're dealing with your head coach and the situation he has put himself in, and now you're dealing with A.J. Brown, who has put himself in the situation that he is in, getting traded off from one of the best organizations in sports because he had a power struggle with the quarterback, head coach, or whoever else.
Is that the most obvious? I'm not saying first to worst in the division, but obvious regression team. Like, the Patriots had everything line up for them last season.
Easy schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they have distractions all over the place. They're still talented. They have young guys who should be getting better. I don't see how the offensive line could be much worse than they were last year, and they still got to the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah, them along with the Chicago Bears, I think, are the two. But I think the Patriots, more than anybody else, are the team that seems is going to take a giant step back, even with the acquisition of A.J. Brown to help them raise their offensive ceiling a little bit.
At least they're in somewhat of an easier division.
Yeah.
The AFC least.
Oh, it shouldn't be this way because Josh Allen is not the reason why the Buffalo Bills lose 90% of the time.
That game against Denver, though.
Sure, I will give you that. But generally speaking, that game against Kansas City, he basically led them on what would have been a game-winning drive. The onside kick instead of kicking it out of bounds,
they changed the rules in overtime because Josh Allen didn't get another chance with the football. Like, that's how good he's been in some of these moments.
And that game doesn't even go into overtime if they squib it instead of kicking it off. But I digress. Josh Allen's going to have a level of pressure on him because he has a new head coach who is his offensive coordinator, and Joe Brady. He does have DJ Moore, so that is another weapon that he has been missing. We talked about last year. He put up good numbers, but didn't have a true number one receiver. Now he does. So there's going to be a little pressure on his shoulders. I don't necessarily put the blame most of the time on when they lose on the shoulders of Josh Allen, but he's a starting quarterback for a perennial playoff contender. The pressure is always going to be on him.
DJ Moore, it sounds familiar. I can't remember who drafted that guy. It looks like he's still having a pretty solid career away from the Carolina Panthers.
I'm sorry, Adam.
Sorry. I'm having an aneurysm live on air. All right. That's pretty good NFL talk. I mean, we got to a lot of guys with pressure on them. We got to the NFC North. What about going back to something we kind of teased out earlier? You may not heard. The NBA and the Golden State Warriors here had an opportunity, maybe not just to get Jaylen Brown, because as we have seen now, if that potential was really there, and I'm sure it was because Boston was dangling him out there. Now, the report was saying for Jaylen Brown at that time, at least, and maybe this is spin from Golden State because they don't want to think he was that attainable to their fans, and we blew it. Mm-hmm. The report was 4 first-round picks for him. Now, they only ended up getting
they got a couple plus Paul George, right?
2 plus Paul George?
I think it was 2, right?
It almost feels like 1 at this point because it feels like so little for him. One of them is the 2028, which I think is actually coming from the Clippers. Julian, it was 2? Utah.
Yeah.
It was
2.
So it was 2 first-round picks, right? 2 picks and Paul George, yeah.
Which seemed low. 4 feels too much. That feels steep. I don't know if I believe it, though, since in the end it ended up being 2. Now, would they have taken 2 and Jimmy Butler, though, who's not coming back off the ACL injury, to make the money match till February if you're Boston? You'd probably rather have Paul George.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, what's in this for the Boston Celtics? Like, even first-round picks from the Golden State Warriors, I mean, maybe it ends up paying off, I guess, in the future. You have no idea where those picks are going to end up landing. They're going to be in a rebuild at some point. You just don't know exactly how soon into the future that's going to be. And Jimmy Butler is essentially a giant expiring contract.
Yeah.
The Celtics are competing now. Jason Tatum's coming off of injury. You want to be able to maximize this window of time for him. You're not in a quasi rebuild.
You can make the argument that they're just flipping out Jaylen Brown for Jason Tatum during this regular season. They didn't have Jason Tatum last year until the very end, and they might get Jimmy Butler back at the very end if they made that trade with Golden State. You would think in some capacity, but he's not playing back-to-backs. Maybe he plays once a week coming off the ACL.
I'd rather have 2 1s and Paul George. I think Paul George gives me more right now, but even if he's not what he was 4 or 5 years ago.
The question is Golden State been butchering the end of the Steph Curry era by not finding a significant star to pair him with? Maybe not through their own fault at times. I think Lauri Markkanen, he was out there. They don't want to give up enough guys. It does seem like they're looking for the perfect guy. When you talked about earlier, well, they're not sure if Jaylen Brown, can carry them into the next era. And I think that's valid to some degree, because if Steph retires in 3 years from now, Jaylen Brown's 33 or 34.
Making $67 million a year. That doesn't do a lot for you.
I have expressed my concerns about him, not just the analytics, but him wanting the new contract. I think that's a lot of what happened with Boston.
Yeah.
We don't want to deal with him asking for this next contract extension when he's already getting paid this much.
We probably don't want to pay him this much right now,
to
be honest with you.
He's overpaid. He should probably be making like 40, 45 million, not 60 million.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Okay, it's not nuts. He is a Finals MVP, but it's too much in today's era with the salary cap situation with the second apron.
Like what? I mean, Shea's making 61 or something like that. So
I think he'll hit 70 at the end of this.
At the very end of his contract, he'll hit 70.
He's also 28. Yeah. Like he got it when he was 27, I think.
There's no, as great as Jaylen Brown is, he's not at the level of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a #1 MVP, face of a franchise, unquestionably, top 3 player in the league.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown is not that.
I will say this. Like, the two timeline screwed the state when they didn't draft correctly.
Yep.
When they missed on so many guys.
Or should have traded those picks when they could have. Trade the Kuminga pick, trade the Wiseman pick, as opposed to taking them and trying to do the transition from the old guys to the new guys. That
fair.
almost never works.
Yeah, nobody's been able to figure it out yet. I said this on a solo show earlier this year. I think they owe it to the rest of the NBA to let Steph Curry go. Stop hoarding Steph Curry. Give him to a team where he can compete, because he's one of the greatest players in NBA history. And not just that, he's one of the greatest entertainers and unique players that we want to see on the biggest stage.
And he's not going to ask for a trade. You know that's not going to happen.
He ain't asking out.
You got to push him out the door like Kevin McHale did to Kevin Garnett in Minnesota.
He's San Francisco's favorite son.
Oh.
You're going to have to make the move. You can still get a lot for him.
Oh, absolutely.
You could replenish the war chest by doing this. It could benefit both of you. He could still come back for his final season, whatever. Do that whole song and dance. I just want to see Steph Curry in a playoff series with a team that has a chance to win a championship. And Golden State, they're like 9th seed at best in the Western Conference.
And like, even if they had signed LeBron, they were not going to be a legit championship contender. Now that obviously you know LeBron is not going to be there, why not just blow it up?
The question is, if they had gotten Jaylen Brown, are you not just trading for Jaylen Brown? Are you trading for Jaylen Brown and LeBron James? And should they have considered that?
I don't know. Because even within that, it raises their ceiling more, because obviously Jaylen Brown is younger and the impact that LeBron can make. But again, that's still a clunky fit.
It is. So's Philly.
It is.
But there's enough talent where you just take that chance.
That's the thing.
Especially young talent that can carry.
LeBron, Steph, Jaylen Brown, knowing that LeBron and Steph are both going to miss a number of games throughout the regular season, there's a great combination of youth and a veteran experience in Philadelphia. Embiid and LeBron James manage some minutes, make sure those guys are ready to go when they need to. Edgecombe can play all 82, assuming he's healthy. So can Maxey.
Philadelphia
so can Jalen.
Might be pulling off the two timelines in a roundabout way.
Not intentionally so. It's just kind of working out that way.
It's not organic. It's not like they drafted they drafted the guys, but they got an old guy that wasn't originally with this team. And they got a guy in a trade that most people think they swindled the Boston Celtics for. It is a damn shame that Steph Curry, who is still, I mean, he's closer to a top 5 player probably when healthy than the 10th best player.
I would agree with that.
Like, he's closer to the 5th best player than the 10th best player. He's that good still.
He just hasn't been healthy these last couple of years. And you want to put him in a situation, like you said, where he can have a chance to be able to win and not just peter out. I don't want his career to end like Kobe Bryant's did, scoring 50 points for an 18-win team.
It would have been one thing if, like, Clay was still there and they kept the entire group together
for nostalgia purposes, even though they're not good.
And they're going out like that, and they're still fighting, and they're trying to hold on. But Clay's gone. Draymond isn't the same player. Steph, like, that romanticizing the Golden State Warriors in that era, that's already ended to me. So why not just send Steph someplace where he can compete for a title right now? Because what we saw in the Olympics in 2024, I don't want to be the last big moment for Steph Curry on the big stage. I want to see it at the NBA level.
Yeah, that will be nice. We'll have to see how this ends up playing out. I know what's coming up next here on FnA on FSR.
Oh, our guy.
Julian's Jam. You don't have to tease what's happening, Julian. Just spring it up on us. Let us know. We'll figure it out. Coming up next, FnA on FSR with Julian's Jam. Don't go anywhere.
Everything football, right?
Non-stop whistles and grunts.
Steph to Charlotte. Go back home.
Bods drenched in sweat. Thank God. NFL training camp is here. This is Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports Radio is taking over YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Godson Company. Live. Cavino and Rich. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
Hey, it's Bubba Wallace from 2311 Racing. You know what feels like forever? sitting on a plane waiting for takeoff. Good thing I've got Chumba Casino. With daily boosts and social casino games on tap, this is the kind of fun that makes time fly. Why not turbocharge your downtime? Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
This is The Herd. When Colin Cowherd drops the info, The Herd, you need to listen.
It's always interesting when it comes to culture, is that I remember at Saban's first year, it was bad. I remember Pete Carroll's first year at USC. I don't know why I know. They were 6-6. They went to like the Vegas Bowl, and I think they played Utah, could be wrong. And I mean, they couldn't run the football, and everybody. And when Pete Carroll got hired at USC, it was not the number one choice because he didn't have a lot of college connection. And everybody was like, he'd been in New England, the Jets, and everybody's like, why are you hiring Pete Carroll at USC? And the first year was bumpy. And then Saban, obviously, he coaches in the NFL. He's LSU. He goes to Alabama. And the first year at Alabama, they're losing home games to Louisiana Monroe. So that's my question's always, it's really easy to sell culture when you're winning. Jim Harbaugh, took over. Go look at Jim Harbaugh in San Francisco. And then Jim Harbaugh with the Chargers. He had some struggles early at Michigan. God, you can go 3 years into Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. They couldn't beat Michigan State. They were getting whacked by Ohio State. Now, losing to Ohio State, there's no crime in that, but they were getting dominated. But you can't lose to Ohio State and Michigan State. And if I recall, there was a game they lost to Michigan State. It was a punting situation at the end of the game. I remember watching that game live thinking, this is going to leave a mark. I don't know if Harbaugh can overcome this. So when you go, we have great coaches. Pete Carroll in his prime, Harbaugh, Nick Saban. First year is ugly. And now you got.
If you're eager to find out what Colin said next, just podcast it by searching The Herd. And as always, you can listen live to Colin Cowherd weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
We begin
with the Ben Maller Show.
Handle with care. If you didn't hear this, perhaps not, we have the audio tape rather than me pretend to be Baker Mayfield.
I've been told I'm a franchise quarterback. It's been said publicly from ownership down here. And so to not have a deal done is very disappointing.
So Mayfield announced that all contract negotiations are OVER. That's over until after the 2026 season, saying neither he nor his agent will revisit talks unless the team properly recognizes his value. Here's the deal. Baker Mayfield, who cares? You can say you're the franchise quarterback. Right up your tuchus. It doesn't matter. You should know that. It doesn't matter. When they actually pay you the proper amount, that's the moment you know that that's legit. But let's be honest. Most of life is just a series of unappealing offers.
Ben Maller, weeknights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Right now, the Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
We're still waiting for Aaron Donald to show up at Rams camp. And I had somebody tell me yesterday who works with the NFL. And I said, what do you think about Aaron Donald? He goes, would you go to training camp if you're Aaron Donald? And I go, no. He goes, exactly. You're going to wait as long as you can. Now, you have to get in shape. You have to get in football shape, and that's different than just regular shape. But it seems like Aaron Donald has kind of maintained his NFL body. A lot of times you'll see these guys, like Joe Thomas of the Cleveland Browns. Like, he lost 50 pounds. These guys, they shed that weight. They have to when they get older. But with Aaron Donald, you're not showing up for training camp. Not until you have to. And, my point is, you're overwhelming favorites to win the Super Bowl without you.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. We are all over the place. Not only are we on your radio right now, we're streaming on the iHeartRadio app. Fox Sports Radio. We have social clips all over social media platforms.
I'm going to guess that the audience probably feels it's pretty cool.
And we have videos. So many videos. Countless videos. Too many to count videos on our YouTube channel.
What a wonderful world we're living in. Isn't it great?
Like I said, we're all over the place. Fox Sports Radio. We are Fox Sports Radio. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details.
Go, check.
Check them out. FS1. Check them out. FS1.
Sometimes people deserve more. FnA, Cotton, FnA.
For the best pregame show every weekend, be sure to tune in to Fox Sports Radio's Countdown. It's presented by BetMGM. Every Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific, we will count you down to all of the biggest games of the weekend. Tune in to Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday morning right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart app. It is FnA on FSR, and it is time for one of our favorite segments.
Oh my God! Get out of the way!
He's on fire!
It's Julian's Jam.
Boom, shakalaka. Adam, what do all three of our NFL teams have in common?
A lot of ass. Oh, bad quarterbacks? No, you got a good one.
We're all bottom 3 or bottom 10 in wins over the past 20 years.
Oh. Did you have to go back that far?
Jeez,
yeah,
man.
I tried to do a good window for my segment, for my question. So with that said, I want us each, including Mark, the Bears are like 14th, so it's not as bad. But I want each of us to go around naming our favorite and least favorite memory of the last 20 years.
Oh
and I'll
God.
start. We touched on it a little bit. 2 years ago was magic. I think we had an over-under of 6.5 wins, and you end up in the NFC Championship with the best rookie quarterback season of all time. That Bengals game on Monday Night Football, it was all like, I thought I was going to die. I thought I was dreaming the entire time. So I don't really need to go too deep on that one. My least favorite, I feel like most would think I'd say RG3 getting hurt against Seattle.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
But I was 11, so I don't really remember that too well.
That
So
don't count.
I'm going to 2 draft moments.
Okay.
First, Kyle Hamilton and Chris Olave were on the board, and I was beaming with excitement. You trade down and you take Jahan Dotson.
Yeah.
That was painful.
That didn't age well.
Not very good at all. And then the second one, even worse. Christian Gonzalez is falling. I'm calling my friends. I'm screaming, oh my God, we're going to get Gonzo. We're going to get Gonzo. The Washington Commanders select Emmanuel Forbes. And we know how that went. And then the social media team posts a video of Ron Rivera that day or the next day. And he's like, he's in the car going to the draft room, whatever. And he's like, if Emmanuel Forbes is there, we're taking him. On to you guys.
Yikes.
All right. Best moment last 20 years for the Carolina Panthers. It's probably beating the Arizona Cardinals in the NFC Championship game in 2015 and getting to the Super Bowl and feeling like we were the favorites.
Yep.
We're going to win it. This is it.
What happened?
We're doing this for Jake Delhomme. We're doing this for Kerry Collins. Wesley Walls. What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
Cam Newton, in the biggest game he ever played in his life, didn't care enough to jump on the football and retain possession because he thought he'd get back to that point. He didn't want to risk injury.
Gotta protect himself.
Yeah.
Sad.
You can't wear a giant
Sad.
Elmer Fudd hat if you don't have a head. So you gotta make sure you protect himself, you know?
Worst moment. Maybe that was it. Best and worst moment. Probably goes back to being replaced by a ginger.
Oh.
No, that's real. You got ginger at quarterback. That's your worst moment.
The ginger gene is a curse.
That's rock bottom. That's it. Andy Dalton is my quarterback. Although that might lead to Kevin's worst moment, losing to a ginger.
No, not necessarily. My best moment was probably a full season in 2016 when the Raiders actually made the playoffs for the first time in God knows how long. And probably, I think it was 2002, the year they lost to the Bucs in the Super Bowl.
Okay,
and
Kevin,
that was a crazy magical year. Yes, Adam.
that's not 20 years ago anymore.
Well, it's with 2016 is within a 20-year window.
Oh, I thought you were going back
No,
to
no.
the Bucs
02
Super
goes
Bowl.
a little further
No,
out.
I said 2016, which was the first time they made the playoff. 2002.
I'll take the L.
So in 2016, a lot of crazy comeback victories. Khalil Mack won a game, a couple of different games, even against your Carolina Panthers, where he sacked Cam Newton,
Take another
sack
L.
fumble for a touchdown return. And
You guys should have held on to him.
the worst moment was in that exact same season, where on Christmas Eve, the Indianapolis Colts broke Derek Carr's leg. We even used to have the sound in the system where you said, "It's broke." That was Derek Carr yelling to the sideline that his leg was broken. And they had to go to, don't even remember the guy's name now, from Michigan State, who was their backup quarterback.
Oh.
Cook. Was it Connor Cook? Had to start the playoff game for them.
It's like an Irishman?
Against Houston. It was Connor Cook, and he was awful. So my best and worst were all in the same season, Mark.
Minute. So I guess in the past 20 years, I could just go back like with 2 years ago when the Bears were horrible. And then I guess the best was the last time that the Bears beat the Cheeseheads. That's the best moments.
Anytime they beat the Green Bay Packers. That works for me. I feel the same way when I beat the Chiefs, you know? The Raiders had a Thursday night game against Kansas City a couple of years ago, and they ran them off the field with a backup running back. That was a nice moment. Not my favorite, but it was a nice one.
Yeah. I just have given up on the Panthers in general.
Yeah.
So there aren't going to be any more
30
for me.
Well, when they win the division this year and win a playoff game, you're not going to be walking up in here with some sort of, with your Lathan jersey again.
Our Lathan?
Yeah, exactly.
My guy?
Yeah, puffing out your chest with your Jake Delhomme throwback jersey, talking about my Panthers, my Panthers.
I'll wear a John Casey kicker jersey. I got that still.
I'm sure you would. A lot of those guys on the
10.
I feel.
Good stuff, Julian. Thank you.
5 seconds.
Julian. Thank you, Adam. And thank you for listening. Project NIL is next on Fox Sports Radio.
Here's the